Hi-ho adventurers, here we are, Friday night, party night. Hello and hello, Kirsten, all right. Dr. Overgale already in preferring 22/7 as pi approximation day, as opposed to the backwards American 314. Well, can I do that? Right, I'm making a drink. So I made this earlier for a video, and I had this idea. It might go well with soda. It's a tequila drink. There we go. Shucking it in with some soda. And in fact, I thought it would go well with this Cappy cucumber green tea. The vegetal notes of the tequila and the cucumber thing. Now, Mega Leech. All right. Me being me, I'm going to put my standard garnishes into one strip already out of this orange. I'm going to do one more strip. There we go. Spritz some oil. Twist the orange. Twist the orange. Und in you go. And a cherry. My favorite. Okay. I don't know why I licked my finger after I squeezed an orange peel. I got the really bitter orange oil on my tongue. All right. And cherry. Yes, I'm making this big assumption this will work as a drink. See how good my instincts are when I taste it. Because Sunday is tequila day. So I made a video for it, a tequila cocktail. Now I've turned it into a, not really a highball, it's tequila and soda. That's quite good. Oh, because there's a teeny bit of mezcal in here too, so it's a little bit smoky. Well, it's just got those really earthy flavors in there. I think, Kirsten, what in the old days of Henry's streams with the forbidden words, vegetal was a forbidden word, wasn't it? Man, that is actually pretty good. But then again, I really like these Cappy sodas with their very light flavors. So easing into a Friday night by now. I have no idea how long I will last tonight. We'll see. Ooh, Mega Leech. The Gen 6 committee hearing was damning. I was not paying attention to the news. Let's see if we can get some headlines about it. I did see some news about Splendor in the Grass having to cancel acts because of wild weather. Reports Morrison pressured Border Force to promote Election Day beta. Of course they did, because they're filthy racists. Okay, is this the ABC blog? Let's start here. January 6th hearings. Key takeaways included Mr. Trump wanted to join the rioters, became frustrated when his Secret Service agents refused to let him. A White House employee testified Mr. Trump watched Fox News from his dining room as the riot unfolded. 2:24 p.m., Mr. Trump attacked via tweet then Vice President Mike Pence, who was being sheltered by members of the Secret Service. Just 2 minutes later, Mr. Pence was evacuated to safety for a second time, coming within 12 meters of the rioters. Outtake from Mr. Trump's message of the Rose Garden day after the riot show him stumbling over words and becoming irate. I don't want to say the election's over, he said. Oh, there's some raw footage of, okay. The January 6th committee plans to reconvene in September. There you go. No, it. It was the forbidden word. Yes, because it does seem to be splendor in the mud. It seems a bit of a shit show, honestly. So, Heine, you worked out an algorithm for calculating pi. Coincidentally used by hand today. Got 3.28 for your first run. More detailed run gave me 3.25. So it's a bit off because 3.14 is the approximation. It's one of those things, like, so much of the world can either be explained by mathematics or described in mathematical terms, or you see mathematical patterns in the natural world. This is one of those things, like, what is pi? Why is pi? What's that relationship of the radius of a circle to its circumference? Why is it so weird? Why is it this number that never resolves? And that's fucking weird. And, I think it would probably be a mistake to read too much into it, but it's just this weird thing. It's kind of like, you look at some plants, particularly some flowers, have repeating mathematical patterns in the way they grow. It's it's weird, because certainly I'm going to speak for myself. I was going to say in general terms, I think this is true in general terms, but I'll limit it specifically to me. Like, the way I interpreted maths growing up is maths is sort of clinical and cold and scientific and precise, and nature and art are free and wild and spontaneous and whatnot. But so much of nature has mathematical patterns in it, and so much art that's pleasing can be defined in mathematical terms. That's visual arts, that's music. It's pretty wild. And yes, Dr. Abigail, what is with pi being so irrational? Maths jokes. And also, okay, none of our freedom people are here yet, I don't think. But what is it with Americans, where the whole world contracts mathematics to maths, and Americans insist on saying math, and then everyone else refers to sports, and Americans insist on saying sport? And it's what? What is it about? What is that? What's going on there? Inquiring minds want to know. So, some people with bad experiences in their life might say I'm asking for trouble, starting the night on tequila. But as I say in the video I just made, everyone who has this thing where they think tequila is different to other alcohol, it's not. Your behavior is just different. So, Director Abigail, pure numbers, patterns in numbers, maths, formulas, algorithms. But that's the thing. Those patterns in maths, they recur in art. They recur in nature. And there is a beauty and elegance to them. Here we go. Rabid Game Fan is here. We USians call it sports. That's what I'm saying. We say maths, and you insist on saying math, and then you say sports, and we say sport. Yeah. Did I say that backwards, actually? I have a feeling I said that one wrong. See, okay, I think that math joke is too arcane for me, Alexander. I don't get it. So busy measuring in R units. Oh, right. They can't remember the S on maths. Okay, thank you for picking that up, Rabbit Game Fan. It's only when you wrote it there I thought, yep, I think you're pointing out that I said that wrong. Yes. Yes, we say maths and you say math. We say sport and you say sports. And it's just like, it's weird. Cultural differences. It's particularly when there's a culture that's very similar to yours, the things that are different stand out like dog's balls. It's like, and it's really jarring. You're going on, yeah, everything's the same here. Everything's the same. And then something smacks you in the face and you're like, what the fuck is that? Yes. And yes, Rabbit Game Fan, that was the point I meant to make. The two are reversed. American math, rest of the world maths. American sports, rest of the world sport. The reversing of the S. And I fucked it up. Thank you for picking it up. What is that reminding me of? Because I mean, I don't drink tequila that often. It's of the big spirits. It's the one I'm least into. I have one Reposado tequila and now one Añejo tequila and one Mezcal. That's it. Then I've got a dozen or more whiskeys, a dozen or more gins, probably more than 10 rums. Rays, how's it going? What is up indeed? Up to Friday night. Okay, you know what? I might mix things up and have an energy drink because I like to have an energy drink at the start of streams. And I was going to do it in the last hour while I was editing my cocktail video. And I just got immersed in editing the cocktail because I didn't think I'd actually finish it before this stream. And I did. I finished it just before the stream. So it's like, woohoo, go me. And yeah. Well, yes, Kirsten, it's good that generally speaking, we can understand Americans. There are some unusual accents in the US, but yes, it's not as challenging as, say, the UK with the rather extreme accents in different areas. Oh, that's fun. Oh, yeah, no, I've heard lots of funny stories about Americans not being able to understand other English speakers pronouncing a word differently. My a friend was telling me they were in a restaurant and the waitress saying like, what do you want to drink? And my friend said, just water. And just got this blank look from the waitress. Like, what? Yeah, water. What? I just want some water. And the waitress is like, you fucking what? And eventually it gets to water. And because Australians say water, and all the waitress was hearing was water. And just, the fuck is that? And I was at a show once, American singer-songwriter from New York, Christine Lavin. She's great. And she's doing a bit of audience interaction. And somehow I got around to saying to a guy in the audience, how'd you get here? And he said, came in my car. And she'd been having a little banter with him. And when he said me car, and she just blanked and went, what? And he goes, me car. And she's like, what? He goes, me car. And she's just, and eventually goes, oh, you're saying my car. And because, yeah, the guy's saying me car. And she was expecting someone to say my car, not me cat. It was quite funny to, I just remember that one. It was quite funny to sit in the audience seeing that unfold because I heard the guy say me car and she's like, what? And it's just shouting louder, me car. And she's not, and I'm thinking, why the fuck is she not understanding? And then when she eventually goes, oh, You mean your car. Oh, Jesus. Alexander, he had a bloke come in yesterday, thought he was speaking another language from inner city London. Okay, you know what's underrated? New Zealand accents. There is really extreme variance in New Zealand accents. Trying to remember, what was the part that was settled by Scots? Dunedin, I think. Um, it's like 10 years ago, went there on a holiday, no, actually more like 15 years ago, went on a holiday there with Mrs. Angry, and some guy was talking to us at this campsite, and he was from Dunedin, and we could not fucking understand him. Is a guy from New Zealand speaking English, and we were just like, I don't know what you're saying. And we were like, what? And he thought we couldn't hear him. I was like, and fortunately, just at the point, it's like, dude, I cannot fucking understand you. His wife called him away, and I was just like, Jesus. And then when we did our glacier tour, a lot of the guides were uni students, and one of them was also from Dunedin. And I recognized the similarity in the accent, but he had like a really educated version of the accent where the guy who we could not fucking understand had like a working class version of the accent. It's wild. And I remember when I went to England, catching up with some of my YouTube friends, Frankie the Skin, who comes in here often, has he's not difficult to understand, but he has a really interesting accent. It's like a hybrid East End, North London accent. And another guy, and he's from the south, like not far away from London, and he had what you'd regard as a very run-of-the-mill English accent. He was tripped out by Frank's accent. He's just going like, what is your accent, man? And Frank's kind of like going, I guess it's from all over. And Frank meant all over London. And it's just like, my God. He wasn't difficult to understand, but Steve was being really just like, what is your accent? It's really weird. So, Dr. Abigail, a dude in your elite gamer groups. Oh, Welsh. Welsh is a good one. Yeah, because they do actually have their own language. So when they speak English, it can be with quite the accent. Doesn't help his microphone's crap. He has the well-deserved name, Lord Shouty. Okay, so you're just getting really distorted shouts on the mic from him. Okay. Yeah. I mean, a big part of that is the Welsh having their own language, and so their intonations in English are quite different. Which again, you get the same with Irish people who speak Irish. They're actually a minority. I think the majority of Welsh speak Welsh. I think it's a minority in Ireland speak Irish, and I think it's a very small minority in Scotland speak Scottish Celtic. But yeah, I think that's a big thing with why the Welsh can be very different, because they do actually have their own language, which most of them speak. You get all the signs in Welsh in Wales too. So, hey, Justin, how's it going? We're talking accents at the moment, and what accents we get thrown by. And specifically, we were also talking about Americans getting confused by Australian accents. But also the Boston accent is probably the closest in America to an Australian one, because people in Boston tend to drop their R from the ends of words, which Australians do. And the majority of the majority of North American accents really pronounce the R like in a way that Australians find weird. Not hard to understand, just weird. But Bostonians, maybe it's their Irish background, they don't. And because there's theories that a lot of Australia's accent comes from the Irish. Combination of, and what's the other thing I've heard? No idea how true this is, but the Australian accent's a mishmash of the Irish, the working class English, Indigenous Australians, and also the talking without moving your mouth too much because you don't want flies to get in it. I don't know if that's just a joke or if some people say that seriously. And Justin, you've never lived in but you get it from your parents. A lot of people just didn't get an accent from their parents. Kirsten, your favorite thing, German Nordic sorts speak incredible English, but apologize all the time that they can't really speak English. Again, yeah, continental Europeans who take being multilingual for granted. And yeah, as you say, they will apologize for saying their English is not good when it is. It's just a fun thing. I remember when I first found out there are several different dialects of German in Germany because Germany was different countries. And they can find it very hard to understand each other. Like there's references to High German and Common German. I'm going to look that up, actually. What comes up if you search German dialects? Okay, what does Wikipedia say about German dialects? This is probably probably upsets Germans, this. So, varieties of German conventionally group into Upper German, Central German, and Low German. Upper and Central German form the High German subgroup. Standard German is a standardized version of High German, developed in the early modern period based on a combination of Central German and Upper German varieties. Yeah, there you go. But yeah, I was very surprised the first time I learned Germans from different parts of Germany can have mucho problem understanding each other. That's the thing you often get with people from Asia who are in Australia. You can tell in many cases what nationality their English teacher was. They'll have very different accents if they had an Australian English teacher, an English teacher, or an American English teacher. They'll pick up some of the accent. So Megalich, imagine a sphere. If you know the diameter, you can find the circumference using pi. Now replace the sphere with the diameter of the observable universe. Okay, you're getting weird. I am not following it. 152 decimals of pi, probably enough. Probably. Kirsten, ex-housemate, grew up in Amsterdam, used very formal words. Sometimes made his speech seem strange. English was his fifth language. Yeah. But yeah, I guess it's also partly, being in that part of the world where you travel for 5 minutes and you're in another country. There is additional value and pressure to learn multiple languages. Whereas being in Australia in the fucking boondocks, English is the official language. And yeah, well, I'm not going to... And I'm actually, sort of embarrassed and disappointed that I'm monolingual. But yes, that's the thing, just I know you are an American citizen. You got from the American schools. Yeah, it's basically you pick up the accent that's around you. That's why, some kids born in Australia will have the accent, or at least traces of the accent of their parent, even though they were born here. I was always fascinated that the kids of migrants in the outer suburbs of both Sydney and Melbourne have the same fucking accent, even when their parents come from radically different places. And they're like all through Asia, and the Mediterranean and the Middle East. And they'd all have the same fucking accent. And I found that really interesting. The Westie accent. Ah, yes. Sorry, I do know that one, Megaleech. Who was the most round medieval knight at the high table of King Arthur? Circumference, of course. Kirsten, your sister says some South African words. Swear she was born here, yes. Oh, see, I only got half the joke. Knight circumference, he'd eaten too much of pie. There you go. Yeah, Safi, you've got an interesting accent. You don't sound Eastern European, but you're also not bog standard Australian accent either. And again, I think that's going to be partly the influence of your parents, and then, partly schools you went to as well. And yes, that's absolutely true, Justin. Kids using a different accent with their parents than what they use with their friends. Oh, don't pretend you don't love the math stats jokes, Dr. Abigail. Oh, here's another one. What's the name of the animal that's known in the animal kingdom celebrate Pi Day? Actually, I don't know this one. Pi Day, so is it going to be something that sounds like radius, something that sounds like circumference? Oh, a python. Oh dear. Oh dear. Right. I had not heard that one before. I'm sure I've seen the circumference one in a kid's joke book. And yes, Safa, growing up in different parts of the world, you'll definitely pick up different accents and end up with a weird accent. What happens when a cheese pie has the thickness of A and the radius of Z? Oh God, I know this one. Oh, you're waiting for Dr. Abigail to get it. I know I've heard this one, and my brain doesn't want to recall it. Maybe my brain's protecting me. I don't know. It's we'll see if Dr. Abigail gets it. Oh, that's not the book I thought was here. My first cocktail book, Cocktail Chronicles. But I did want to look something up in here, actually. Tequila. Let me see. L. That's what we want. Añejo. Highball. 124. What's that? Aged rum. Curious. Why is that? Oh, because they calling Añejo rum. Okay. Rum, curacao, lime, bitters, and ginger beer. That sounds okay. Oh God. Put pineapple. It very simply becomes pi ZZA. Oh dear. And Happy Friday to you too, Salumi. Oh my god, Megaleech is still going. When the pie fell sick after getting food poisoning on Pie Day, what medicine did the doctor prescribe to it? Oh god, I actually shudder. I shudder to think. And Justin, I do understand that having a love-hate relationship with where you're from, and that's because of your accent. And a lot of people get it because of their physical appearance. Oh god, antibiotics. That's awful. Ah, Salumi. A woolly substitution that make our. Oh my god, are they going to? Did you ask for like Pepsi Max and they put something else in, as if that counts? That's actually why I won't order online from the supermarkets, because of the substitution thing they do. Because I don't want to give people a hard time, but I do want to scream at them, "Fuck you," when they substitute something that is just not the thing I want. And it's like they're trying to say that's just as good. And it's like, it's fucking not, you know. It absolutely fucking is not. Fuck that. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. That's okay. That's actually ripping you off. Ordered Johnny Walker Black and got a bottle of Cinzano. That's actually ripping you off $30 or $40. Like, that's fucking criminal. I'm assuming and hoping they've called up and said, "Fuck you, motherfuckers. Give me the right thing." When Pi was making illogical arguments and debate with fellow numbers, what they say was, it stop being so irrational? Yeah, he gave him a full pineapple. God. And Cinzano's there's it. I knew that one. I could tell was going to be about being irrational. Dr. Abigail, Coles actually specifies as a substitute, but I mean, do they refund you if they just don't have it? Because, but yes, again, it's just why I won't do the online supermarket shopping, because there's too much fuckery goes on. See, Saf, this is my point. They do stuff up my order. I've repeatedly had them stuff up orders. So it's just like, well, fuck it. Plus, you know, it's an outing. I've never stopped wearing, like, they were telling you to wear masks every now. I never stopped wearing my mask in the supermarket. It's just like, I'm in here for a while, recirculated air, and a lot of people. For the little benefit it gives me, I'm going to wear a mask. Found some things to mix Cinzano with. It's, Crust, what are you going to use it in? Like a martini. You could make a vaguely acceptable martini with Cinzano, but you only want to use a little bit of it, which means the bottle would last forever. They don't charge you if they don't have it. But okay, and here's my problem with the Coles website. It's like they take payment. I don't know. Just basically fuck them is my response. Oh, I like that one, Rabbit Game Fan. Pie's the Michael Jackson or Prince or Kanye West of numbers. Irrational but amazing. Yeah, the substitutes. Again, it's just fucking stupid. And I don't want to do it. So, Safi, you got a $60 mask made out of merino black wool. There you go. Silly me, you wear a mask anywhere, you can't socially distance. Yeah, you don't want someone to fuck up your groceries. Yeah. Oh, gosh. Yeah, if you have those sensitivities, like I've told the story before about being with AIDS in a shopping mall and realizing he was about to lose it because it was too bright and too loud. And I was like, "Hey, big guy, should we leave?" And he's like, "Yes." Yeah, okay. Let's leave before you fucking attack someone because you're starting to look a bit antsy. Well, yes, and I appreciate your position, Dr. Abigail. And it is a position of privilege on my case to be able to say, oh, fuck them, I'll go down and do it myself. It absolutely is a position of privilege, and I am aware of that. But, yeah, it's weird. It's like the privilege to do something myself. Yeah, it's very wild. Slimy, you have headphones on all the time when shopping self-serve. If you list, get in and out, do decent amount of shopping at markets and small grocers. Yeah, that'd be a bit less stressful. Right. Where's my fancy book? I thought, oh, it's over there. All right. Getting a fancy book. I know, I just feel like mixing a drink. I've got a lot of pre-made ones. Feel like mixing a drink. And I got some good inspirations out of this one recently. So let's just see. Variants. A brown bomber, whiskey, Illy Blanc and Suze. Okay. A Bubbaloo. That's a great name for a cocktail, isn't it? Bubbaloo. Pisco, sweet vermouth, apricot. That's interesting. Pisco and sweet vermouth. Lopez used peach-flavored Bubblicious Burst, or Bublo Duranzo as it's called in Mexico, as his inspiration for Peruvian brandy-based treat. Okay, this is inspired by peach-flavored bubblegum. Pisco, sweet vermouth, apricot liqueur, and some bitters. Amargo bitters. What the fuck is Amargo? Something I've got to look up. So, Sylvia, you're planning to do a small food shop, had to leave work because eczema was bad on your hands, hot and swollen. Came home, took antihistamines. Okay, well, I'm glad that helped. See what comes up if I put Amargo in a search. Oh, it's just bitter. It just means bitter. Okay, so it's just bitters. Okay, fine. Oh, right. Yeah, you have the problem with eczema becoming worse from stress. And then eczema can make you stressed, which makes it worse, which makes you more stressed. Bit of a spiral. All right. I haven't made anything with Pisco for a while, actually. Pisco and sweet vermouth is fascinating. You know what? I might make that. That's interesting. Have to get a stirring glass for that. Oh, and that the finger has to come out. Time for the finger. Where's the finger? It should be in here. I haven't used it for a little while. Oh, shit. What's that word? Utensils. Okay, now we want the stirring glass. Und Vivant Destrana, which I had. It's just there. Okay. We want the jigger. Where did I put the jigger? I put it over here. Okay. Oh man, I should have done the dishes before I did this. I won't be up for it in the morning. Okay. There's a few things I should have done. Okay. Ugh, being a bit slack. Oh, you're moving in a few weeks. Yes, I can imagine that being a bit of a stress. All right, so I want Pisco, sweet vermouth, and peach. I've got a peach liqueur down. I'm sure I've got a peach liqueur. I think I've got a vodka peach liqueur. Is that peach? That's peach. All right, that's peach. Okay. Hiding in the back of the cage. I should do this. I'm going to move some things around. Put this in here. All right. And where did I put my Pisco? That looks like it there. Pisco. It's running a bit low. And Sweet Vermouth. All right. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. And bitters. I'll just use aromatic bitters. Actually, my whiskey bitters up here. They are. I'll use them. Da-da-da-da. Not surprised you jumped in with a move to Melbourne there, Dr. Abigail. But it would be good, Salumi. But you do. Okay. Pisco. A little bit over. Right, Pisco. I think it was half and half, wasn't it? Half and half. The peach liqueur. There's a little bit left. But I don't think I'll replace it if I use it up because I never fucking use it. Peach. Very, very, very artificial flavour. And a bit of sweet vermouth. Give it a bit of colour. Und some bitters. In a few years, you might be able to afford to. Got to get a degree first. Yeah. Tim Smith might make you gay, but, you know, everyone hates both Tim Smith and Matthew Guy. Tim Smith hates Matthew Guy because Matthew Guy told him he had to resign when he got drunk and crashed into someone's wall. And Tim Smith thinks that's so unfair because Tim Smith is a freakish narcissist and steaming bag of shit, quite honestly. Right, I'll put some ice in here. Then we shall stir it. Drop that in there. Actually, that's probably enough. People say there should be ice baby. So I don't want to dignify Tim Smith with an ideology. He's just a shameless, soulless, narcissistic opportunist. Oh, Meg Leach, actually, Pi Day cocktail. I was very tempted. In fact, I think I will make the one I saw on the Difford's Guide website for Pi Day. Call it Key Lime Pie. It sounds really good. I might make that a bit later. It's a dessert one. Ooh, that's a neat color. My cherry in there. It's a neat color. Wow, that's actually... Oh, man, that is pretty good. That is a pretty good drink. Nice. So, Justin, my Labor candidate, Louise Crawford, Well, I hope she does well in the upcoming election. Be fun if Labor got back with an increased majority. So we pray for you taking Opie to the vet. Cats and vets, eh? Megaleech. Fuck no. 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 You lost me at vodka. No. The Difford's key lime pie cocktail is there's like 2 ounces of coconut rum, 1 ounce of triple sec, 1 ounce of lime juice, and then separately you mix some cream and liquor 43. And so you shake the first 3 ingredients, the rum, triple sec, and lime juice with ice, strain it into a glass, rimmed with pastry or biscuit crust. I'm not going to do that. But then you shake together the cream and liquor 43, which is a vanilla liqueur, together, and you float that on top. So I'm going to do that. Safa, no. No, only political tragics care about branch stacking. Okay, it's fucked. Branch stacking is fucked. But people don't care. So this is from Megaleech, warm apple pie, rum, apple cider, cinnamon sticks, whipped cream, ground cinnamon. It's just rum in apple cider. Man, that'll get you fucking drunk. Unless we're talking about non-alcoholic apple cider. I've got a great apple liqueur down there. Actually, I could do that with a rum, apple liqueur, and a cinnamon liqueur I've got. See, I could do that too. An apple pie. Kirsten, you have birthday cake vodka someone gifted you. I assume that's just like a really sweet flavored vodka. One of the distilleries I went to, Morgan's, the one I bought the vermouth from, in our tasting tasting paddles, tasting flights, they actually had a couple of their flavored vodkas. They did what was it? A vanilla vodka and salted caramel vodka. And they both, the vanilla, it was the best vanilla vodka I've ever had, actually. It was actually really good. It's just like a sweet thing. It's hardly a subtle drink. The salted caramel one did taste like salted caramel. Wasn't as good. It was a bit better when it was diluted, actually. But their vanilla vodka was the best vanilla vodka I've ever tasted, which is below fucking bar, quite honestly. We found a pumpkin pie bourbon shake. So bourbon, pumpkin spice liqueur, vanilla ice cream, garnished with graham crackers, whipped cream sprinkles. Good God. That's fucking wild. Oh, I missed the grandma's apple pie. Bourbon, liquor 43, creme de cacao, apple juice. I could make an apple pie cocktail. I think. What would I put? You mentioned rum. They're probably brandy. You put brandy in apple pies. I use a nice brandy, apple liqueur, and cinnamon liqueur. Oh, I could put a little bit of, I've got apple syrup. I can put a little bit of my apple syrup in. Just a little bit. Might even make that next, because that seems kind of straightforward. Kind of feels like that should have a bit of citrus in it as well, actually. Just a little bit of lemon juice, maybe. I think I showed these off last night. My banana high proof rum liqueur and coconut high proof rum liqueur. I filtered them again today because there were some weird floaties I didn't like. And I decided if the floaties come back, I'd just live with them. Because like they can't have been mulled. It's too high alcohol. So the coconut one's quite clear. The banana one has stuff floating in. Like it's gonna be oils from the banana? I don't know. But it's fine. Maybe I should do a banana cream pie. Ooh, maybe I should do that. Was it the key lime pie? Coconut rum. Do coconut. I feel like maybe I should do a bit of the banana too. I don't know. Anyway, I do coconut. Follow the recipe. All right. Okay. I was thinking, wait, am I getting legless? Like, no, it's a whole hour. I've only had 2 cocktails. No wonder I feel clear-headed. We'll see how the night progresses, shall we? Last week I actually survived. And in fact, after 6 hours, I was not even particularly tired. I just arbitrarily went, I should go to sleep. Because I've probably fucked my Saturday as it is. And I did end up sleeping till noon. I slept on the lounge till like 6 or 7 and woke up and thought, Mrs. Angry is going to be awake. I can go into the bed now. And I did go into the bed and got a snuggle. And then she got up and I slept till almost noon, which is longer than I wanted to. Like I would prefer to sleep less and then have a nap in the afternoon if I needed it. But oh, is that the Star Wars one? There was a story about at the Disney's latest Star Wars experience. There's some ridiculous cocktail that costs some ridiculous amount, but it's a whole thing. Like you get all this stuff with it, but it's still stupid and overpriced and ridiculous, and you're a moron if you do it. So, Megaleech, protease inhibitor cocktail, general purpose reagent suitable for protease inhibition during protein. Oh, okay. So that's a metaphoric, like just a mixed thing, like not an alcoholic beverage. I'll look up what I was talking about because people know. Expensive Star Wars cocktail from Disney. Most expensive. Okay, it's $5,000. The Kyber Crystal drink. In their hyperspace lounge. No, I'm going to find someone who describes it. Business Insider. Called a Kyber Crystal, served in the ship's hyperspace lounge. Includes the shot glasses it's served in, room amenities. Oh, this is the big thing. You get a trip to Skywalker Vineyards and Skywalker Ranch, where they don't generally allow visitors. Like it's where Lucas lives. That's it. That was the big thing. A trip to Skywalker Ranch. I wonder if I'll get content matched if I show this video. You know what? I'm going to risk it. I'm going to risk it. What the fuck do I care? Okay. Share screen. Window. This. Share. Okay. I'll turn the sound off for a start. And let's watch this. So that's the container it comes in. You do that, it opens out, it's a whole show. And so you get to keep the things it comes in. Big whoop. I think the big thing is the Skywalker Ranch thing. I think the Skywalker Ranch thing is the big thing. Yeah, you're a fucking idiot if you buy it. Well, that was just a really light, great, because this is a great brandy, Pisco, and having it with a vermouth, another grape beverage. It was actually nice and light. But all right, I'll make an apple pie cocktail now. I'll shake this one. Sorry, I put my mezcal out. How's the name? Peloton de la Muerte, aka Death Squad. My Death Squad here. It's a little skull and crossbones on the back. Also, I don't know if you can see worms in there. This mezcal does not come with worms, but I had another mezcal that did come with worms, and I didn't want to eat the worms. So when I finished the other bottle of mezcal, I just added the worms to here. So, maybe one day I'll force someone to eat the worms from the mezcal, because I don't want to. I might just reuse my coupe for the apple pie cocktail I am about to make. All right, I'm going to put a couple of bottles back. Ugh. Okay. Put this back there. Put this back here. Let's go here. And maybe this goes here. I don't even remember where this was. It fits there. I'll put it there. All right. So, apple pie. No, actually, you know what? There's this teeny bit of this sweet vermouth port mix here left. Dr. Abigail, does that strike you as a spice must flow bottle? Is that a Mr. Black coffee bottle? They always have these sort of pagan-y looking symbols on their bottles, which I'm here for, quite honestly. I kept the bottle. Oof. And they just brought out another variant, actually. Mr. Black coffee liqueur finished in mezcal barrels. Makes me wish I liked coffee. I'd get some. So, Kirsten, top tip for gluten-free pancakes, tonic water. Adds floof to them and a bit of sugar as well. That sounds good. Safra, I do hate coffee. I got that Mr. Black specifically to make some cocktails for a competition, which I won't bother to do again because the competition is so fierce. Like, really, really, really clever people put their stuff in there. Oh, Heidi, you need a second PC to do a pie calculation. Well, good luck. Yeah. Just going to drink this sweet vermouth. Yum. That is actually a barrel-aged combination of sweet vermouth and port, and it's really quite nice. Oh yeah, and speaking of Megali, speaking of COVID, so I'm assuming both Kirsten and Safa are out of quarantine today. Hoorah! Ugh. All right, so just emptying that little bottle cleared some fridge space. In fact, I might clean that bottle and then put this in it because there's not that much in this. I can get rid of this bigger bottle, which takes up space. Yeah, I don't mind the bottle, the square-shaped bottle, actually, but I have an enormous number of bottles around here I don't need to keep anymore. So, Kirsten, you went outside a bit wet, didn't go far. Safa went out. Nice. Oh, honey, doing calculations by paper. Fair enough. Oh, yes, Kirsten, wearing masks is a good idea. And yes, I agree, Safa. Going out the first time after you've been isolating for a week is weird. It's funny, getting the Facebook memories from various lockdowns and whatnot. It's weird what you forget. I said this on a stream a little while ago. It was like, I had completely forgotten we had a fucking curfew at one point. Jeez, that shit's wild. What are you going to do? I did see that, Justin. Biden's got COVID. Is he going to have the good grace to fucking die? They'll be pumping him full of everything. That was the wildest thing. Like when Trump got COVID, he's like a super high risk case. And they pumped him full of fucking everything, including some experimental shit, which appeared to work because he wasn't out of commission for very long. But that seemed to me like a really high risk strategy to just pump him full of shit. It's a wonder his heart didn't fucking explode. Safa, that's a bingo. The Victorian state government does not want to reintroduce any restrictions in the lead up to the state election. That's politics. It's very, very, very bad health policy, but it's somewhat understandable politics. It's very shitty health policy. All right. So we are gonna make an apple pie cocktail spontaneously. What's in the key lime one? Triple sec. No, I don't want orange, I don't think. Oh, yeah, Safa. But after the election, it'll be summer and maybe things won't be as dire. I don't know. We are facing a potentially bad month or two for sure. All right, so I'm going to get my apple liqueur, a brandy, Vich brandy. I need a good brandy. I have good brandies. Okay, is this in ready? Got Hennessy. Fuck it, why don't I use Hennessy? Alright. This is a cinnamon liqueur. I'm just going to put a teeny bit of that. It's going to be that. I think I'll put just a little bit of lemon juice for balance in. And a little bit of my apple syrup. Alright. Concoction time. Shaker. That's what we want. This is a shaker. Actually, that shaker's out and dirty. I'll use it. I just have to dump what's in it. All right, shaker. Okay, need to clear some space, goddammit. Very limited space here. All right. Right. You bloody well right. Okay. What's going on here? I want this. All right, I'm going to reuse this ice. Fuck it. We're not trying to impress anyone. Oh. Okay, so brandy using Hennessy cognac. Because Nana always used brandy in her desserts. We go brandy. We go apple. Got a Facebook memory the other day. I bought this beverage for the first time 2 years ago. This is my second bottle of it, which is about a third gone. So I don't drink it in a hurry, really. Most of my bottles last a long time. Okay, tiny bit of this Winter Amaro, a cinnamon bitter. A little bit more, come on, a little bit more. That's enough. Cinnamon bitter Amaro. A little bit of my apple syrup that I made. Yeah, Safa, there's not much chance that Labor will lose the election. It's just a question of will they increase their majority, which is what I want to happen. I want the Victorian Liberal Party to get fucking humiliated. But we don't know what will happen. Right, yes. No, I thought I did get lemon juice out, didn't I? So, Mega H, what's step one for President Sanders? Is it like, Joe Biden getting COVID and dying? Right, a little bit more ice. Ice, baby. All right. I will turn the microphone off for a second because I'm polite. All right. Jesus, that's a diabolical plan, Mega Leech. Biden dies of COVID. Kamala makes Sanders VP. Kamala dies of COVID. Yes, she'd never make Sanders VP because the Democratic Party establishment fucking hates Sanders. They would lose their shit. I think Mimsy was knocking at the door. Okay, so this one already has a very interesting aroma coming off this one. That's pretty fucking... Man, that is pretty fucking good. That cinnamon's really coming through. Man, that's fucking good. Oh, that is actually really good. Damn, bro. Yes, so that Mega H crushing dreams. Well, the Democratic Party establishment crushed my dreams because Sanders had a better start to the presidential primaries than anyone had ever had. And then Biden, who had looked like a fucking joke up to that point, did better in the Carolinas than was expected, and like much, much better than was expected. And so, yeah, then the DNC just pulled the other candidates aside and just said, you are fucking withdrawing. We are only going to have one person against Sanders. It's going to be Biden, and we're going to put all our power behind Biden with promotion. And the rest is history. If the other candidates had stayed in, I think Sanders would have ended up with an unbeatable lead. But the Democratic Party knew something that the Republican Party didn't. Namely, when there was a populist insurgent candidate, you need to put 100% of your party into stopping them. Whereas you see what the Republicans did, they did not pit all their might against Trump. They were all saying Trump's a fucking bag of shit and can't possibly be the nominee, but they did not take all the other candidates into a back room and say, fuck you, all of you are withdrawing. We're just running one main guy against Trump and putting all our weight behind them, and that will knock Trump off. The Republicans did not understand what they had to do to stop an insurgent populist candidate. The Democrats did, which honestly just means the Democrats are darker and more brutal than the Republicans. Justin, Pete Buttigieg may well become president at some point in the future. Pete Buttigieg is also a steaming pile of shit. He's fucking terrible. But yeah, virtually every Democratic candidate's fucking terrible, quite honestly. And Buttigieg is also weird. Like, you look at his CV and you can't help thinking, dude, are you in the CIA? Were you in the CIA? Is like those weird trips to Africa and whatnot? Were you in the fucking CIA? It's just for man, I have not used this one in ages. I should have used more, but this is a one-off. This is like one of my rare ones. Funny the story. Where is it? No, that's not it. Oh, the story's not on here. It must have been on their website. Bitterman make a lot of bitters and some liqueurs and whatnot. And the run that this was made in, the person putting the ingredients in the still misread it and put too much cinnamon in. And by too much cinnamon, I mean by like a factor of 10. And cinnamon's a really strong flavor. And they like accidentally put in 10 times too much cinnamon, and no one realized, and they distilled it, and it came out and they tasted it and goes, what the fuck, this is what? And then they looked at what went in and they went, why did all that cinnamon go in? And one dude, oh, it's my bad. But then they decided to release it anyway, called it Winter Amaro. Hey, Ali. Ooh, cinnamon scrolls. I have quite the weakness for cinnamon scrolls, Salumi. But this is actually, assuming you like cinnamon, this is really quite good. And it's a one-off. You can't ever get it again. And in fact, I got it on sale. Cute bottle. I might actually keep the bottle when it's done. It was in the Bitters Lab, and they had got some in and had never sold. So it was on sale and it was cheap. And I went, fuck it. I'll take a punt on something cheap, and don't regret getting it. Nice, Lee finished graduating with honors, yeah. And yes, Justin. See, well, here's my thing with Pete Buttigieg being gay and being a candidate, first openly gay presidential candidate. He was real equality, because minority groups are often pressured in that you have to be perfect. You have to be the perfect role model because you are a stand-in for all of your group. And the fact that the first openly gay US presidential candidate was a fucking steaming bag of shit, that's true equality, because the cishet candidates, they're all fucked. They're all shit. So why does the gay candidate have to be perfect? He should be shit too. And hello, Laura. Is it your afternoon already? I get very lost with the time zones. Okay, I'm just saying. The first of my pie cocktails for approximate pie day, apple pie. That is really fucking good. I'm quite happy with myself. That is, it's like apple flavor and cinnamon flavor and nom nom nom. It is good. I still want to make the key lime one because it sounds very interesting. Floating a creamy layer on top of the fruity layer. I absolutely want to try that. Although I don't have any cream, I think I'll use a cream liqueur and maybe some of my foaming agent to have a foamy, creamy layer, and that'll just make it. That just makes it more boozy, and I'm okay with that. Okay. Favorite bottle, shape aesthetics, and what's in the bottle. Okay, two good questions. Of all of my bottles, which one do I like the most? A lot of Australian distillers use a very similar bottle. And I like, where is one? There must be one somewhere. I like when Starwood paint starbursts on theirs. But I don't know, this might actually be my favorite. The one from the Gospel, the embossed bottle. It's a square bottle, or rectangular prism. But I just like that it's embossed. It'd be a good souvenir if I moved away from Melbourne. Distilled and bottled in Melbourne, Australia. So this might actually be my favorite bottle. Now, as for beverage, God, probably barrel-aged Mac, actually. It's fucking unique, and you can't get it anymore. I like Mac, just Mac generally. I always make sure to have an Australian macadamia and wattle seed liqueur. But the barrel-aged one has these chocolatey and even slightly coffee-ish notes. It's yum. And it is true, Pete Buttigieg is actually a good media performer. But not a great person, honestly. But then again, like I said, it's very rare that the Democrats have a candidate who's a good person. Oh, yum, yum, yum. Sorry, I'm just really liking that drink I made. Justin, you think Buttigieg's run for president, praising his profile, is effectively transport? Well, that's what him and What's-a-Face got dragged into a back room and said, just withdraw and we'll give you a job. Safa, Ted Cruz would not be worse than Trump. We've already had the worst. And there are a couple who, inspired by Trump's extremity, and these are people who have openly totalitarian leanings, there are now way worse people than Ted Cruz jockeying for position. It's just like the base vileness of Trump inspired a lot of really petty totalitarians. And yes, that's what we need to worry about, Megaleech. Someone with Trump's venality and tendency to totalitarianism, but who was actually competent. And there are a couple that may actually fit that bill. And I don't know, the discourse in the US is just getting worse and worse. It's like a fucking nightmare. No, Boris is not competent. We now see Boris is not competent. Probably more competent, less unhinged than Trump, but also possibly more evil than Trump. Rumor is Trump will make a formal announcement in September to say he is formally running again. He has not made a definitive statement. He's certainly kind of acting like he wants to run again. Like, I'd always assumed he knew he was lying. But you're getting a lot of this testimony at the January 6th hearings with people saying Trump actually seemed disconnected from reality. Trump seemed to genuinely believe he'd won the election. Safa, Yeltsin was drunk. And I think he may have been dead for the last half of his term as Soviet premier. Yeltsin was fucking drunk the whole time. Can he run if they charge him with treason or a felony? I actually don't know. Laura, if Trump decided not to run, that is what I had always thought. He could always act like maybe I'll run and stupid motherfuckers will give him money. But if he actually runs, he could lose again. And that would be very difficult for his ego to deal with. So, Justin, parliamentary systems tend to be better at resisting authoritarian than presidential systems. I tend to agree. It's not a universal truth, but the cult of personality in presidential systems is a lot more toxic than parliamentary systems. Safa, no, Trump does not get the nomination automatically. He would have to contest with other Republicans, same as last time. Megalich, you reckon he'll try and get in front of... Oh, who knows? Who the fuck knows? And that, yeah, because there's a point, because there's this one idea that the Justice Department won't investigate or charge anyone who's running for president. Who fucking knows? Safa, wasn't Yeltsin... No, Yeltsin was in charge of the USSR, wasn't he? He was before Splotch on the head. He was before Gorbachev, wasn't he? Again, it's perfectly possible I'm wrong. Let's look it up. Well, okay. Khrushchev. Where are you? List of Soviet leaders. Khrushchev, Brezhnev, Andropov, Chernenko, Gorbachev. You're right, and I was wrong. Not surprising, your homeland area. Oh, there you go. And Laura jumping in. Yes, okay, Yeltsin was after Gorby. It got all confused. But yeah, no, Yeltsin was fucking drunk the entire time he was there. And I thoroughly suspect there was a whole weekend at Bernie's thing happening for the last year or two. That he was actually dead and they were just propping him up. But if he was still alive, he was very fucking drunk. So, So yes, here's a case where I was wrong. My memory of relatively recent history was quite faulty. Yeah, Russia. Russia. Lee. None of us are happy with what Putin has Russia doing at the moment. Super fucked. Super fucked. It's kind of like, okay, if I have one cocktail every half hour, I'm going to get super. I might drink the rest of this soda water now. Got my ice baby. Drink some soda water for a bit. All right. Cucumber and green tea soda water. I'm just going to put this in the recycling bin. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. All right, and put a couple of bottles away. This can go back in El fridge, refrigerage. Oh, okay. Putting things back. This is this. Put the French apple liqueur back. That's kind of everything. Oh, okay. And I might move this out of the way while I'm fucking around. Okay. 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 Hwah! Okay, Shrep, the minimum comes to Jan 6 community. Yeah, Trump's barred from holding office. Oh, yeah. That is the minimum. And I worry that it's not going to happen. Oh. Okay. Oh, deep sigh. It's funny how Gorbachev kind of had a warm, cuddly persona in the West, and also because he was the one who actually dismantled the USSR. And so for a lot of people, he felt less horrible than the other Soviet dictators. But he's a fucking hard man. Who was it? I think it was John Oliver did a thing where he was going to Russia. I think he was trying to get Snowden for an interview, and he managed to get an audience with Gorbachev. And this is, like relatively recently. So, 25 years after Gorbachev left power or whatever the fuck. And the sort of dead-eyed mafia look Gorbachev gave John Oliver when he decides this person is a clown and he's wasting my time. My time is valuable. Like, to me, I was looking at the look at Gorbachev and it was just like, God, I think he's going to have John Oliver killed. It's just, like this scary gangster look he had in his face. It was just really emotionless. It was just a little bit of disgust and a little bit of anger that you're wasting my time. And I was just going, Jesus Christ, if anyone looked at me like that, I'd go, oh, that's it. He's having me killed. I'm going to be killed. Oh, good God. It's just, and it was quite freaky because I was one of the people who had the kind of Gorbachev kind of, it's cuddly. He ended the Soviet Union. He did Pizza Hut ads and he's okay. And it's like, no, he's fucking hard as nails. Scary. Megaleech, that's fantastic. The only part of your reflection you can lick is your tongue. But your reflection's not a real thing. You're actually just licking the surface in which you are seeing your reflection. Your reflection is conceptual. It's not a real thing. It's the way light bounces off a surface. Getting into philosophy. So we're gonna annoy Dr. Abigail again with a question, but why do things exist? We can track how things exist. We can track evolution and why certain combinations replicated, and then because certain of these mutations performed better, that more of them replicated, and over billions of years we got complexity. But that's how. That's not a why. Is there a why to our existence? That's why religion exists and the philosophers. Well, Dr. Abigail, I certainly can't lick my own elbow. I've seen some people who can twist into funny shapes, so who the fuck knows? Most people on hearing the elbow thing try to lick their elbow. I actually had the impulse. I was going, can I? But I know I can't because I think it was in there. And Kirsten, that is also a fun fact. Your bones are wet and alive. And Dr. Abigail, again, you're now breathing manually. I will one up you on that. You are now aware of your tongue. There's a Peanuts comic. A Charlie Brown comic was the first one that did that to me. And that was a long time ago. Like that comic was from like the 70s, I think. But yes, if you tell someone, you are now aware of your tongue. And that's weird. Because, okay, yeah, no, that's weird. It's fucking just sitting there and it feels like it's in the way. And I wasn't thinking about it until now. Safa, Sri Lanka, Potato Head want to send family from Blower back there. Oh, Dutton's just a fucking racist shitbag who panders to other racist shitbags. Kirsten, you did try to lick the elbow. You were going to lie and say you didn't, but you did. Fun fact, the anatomy of too much fuel is on fire. But what if you wanted to be on fire? Then you have just the right amount of fuel. I read today that for next fire season, so like summer, Australia is slightly modifying the bushfire warnings, and it's going to be standard across all states. Apparently, there's some little differences between states, and there's only going to be 4 categories. They're simplifying it. And there's low to moderate. And it's like, okay, we're probably fine. And then there's like a medium one. It's like, maybe something's going to happen. And then there's the high danger. And it's like, you need to take steps now to protect life and property. And then there's extreme, I guess. I think they changed the word. But the highest one, the word is, you're going to fucking die. If you're in a zone that we put at this rating, if you can't get out, you are going to fucking die. So it's basically the second highest is assume a fire is going to hit you, take steps to protect property and life. The highest one is you are fucked. Get out of there. Dr. Abigail, fun fact, you can drink lava but only once. I feel like that's quitter talk, honestly. Holy shit, Kirsten, you got a bunch of Tasmanian whiskies. Damn. Adam's whiskey, really very good. Yes. Tassie, where the rebirth of Australian distilling happened. Ugh. It's the bush, Dr. Laura. We don't call it the woods. It's the bush. And yeah, Jesus, just where I was, it's like 2 weekends ago when I went away. And on the way back, we stopped where Puffing Billy is, Belgrave. And you can just see lots of trees and stuff. It's like every fire season, you'd have to be paranoid as fuck living there. That's like the outer suburbs of Melbourne. It's only a 40, 45-minute drive from where I live. but the fire risk, and you could see actual fires had been through. You see a bunch of blackened trees, and it's just like, fuck me. Every summer living in these places, I'd be fucking paranoid. Oof. Not good. Not good. Lee, you only recently heard of polonium 210. People get poisoned. Yeah. I'm not sure if anyone survived polonium poisoning. I guess it depends on the dose and how long you're exposed to it. But yeah, that was apparently like the Russian way of killing people, polonium 210. Oh shit, yeah, no. Safa, those Black Saturday fires. I remember posting a video because there was a build up to that. I posted a video a day or two before Black Saturday. The Premier had said, this is it. This is like nothing we've seen before. This weekend's going to be a nightmare. People should get out. And I made a video because also the sky had gone very weird. Just from all the fires that were out in the bush, the sky had gone this weird black color. And I made a video saying, like, first, everything's fucking weird, but also the Premier gave this warning that nobody has ever given before. It was basically, he'd been told by everyone who knew, like, no, this is it. This weekend, it's fucked. We can't stop it. It's going to be devastating. And he said it and said, like, you got to get out if you're in these areas. And it turned out to be true. That was catastrophic on a scale we hadn't experienced before. And now we kind of expect it every fucking summer. But yeah, no, I actually posted a video on that, and it was quite concerning. Okay, so Dr. Abigail talking about the polonium. Body can't flush it out, so a small amount in tea is enough to kill you. It's slow and painful. I heard that, Megaleech. Koala fingerprints are incredibly similar to humans, and they can taint crime scenes. I actually heard that. Also, koalas are murderers, so you know, lots of times when people have been murdered and they're trying to find out what human murdered them, an actual koala did it. True story. Koalas are murderers. Only you wanted to volunteer, but you were still in year 11. So what's this? A duel between three people is called a truel, which is interesting. Like, how do you do that? Is it everyone to themselves, or do two of them gang up on the other one? It's complicated. There's a whole bunch of politics happening if there's three people. But yeah, there was yes. See, Slim, he needs to drop airs when you have murderous koalas. They do it. They're not joking. People think I'm joking. Koalas, they're killers. There's a famous story. I guess it qualifies as a horror story. I forget what it was, but it's like who'd been murdering these people in Paris because they were getting into all this really excessive. Turns out it was an orangutan, which was some traveling circus, and they'd shaved it and were calling it, like, you know, the Wild Man of Borneo or something, and pretending it was, you know, some proto-human. But yeah, it was sort of escaping from the circus at night and murdering people. Yeah. There's another fun fact. I also don't care if any of these fun facts aren't real. More Lego minifigs than actual people. Dr. Abigail, you've been in three-way duels. A skilled jeweler. Good on you. A truel. I'm trying to think, what's the other? a tuel or a polycule? One of those things. Oh dear. We're getting into the weird stuff now. which is not that. We're getting towards the end of the second hour. It's about time for us to get into weird stuff. Quite honestly. All right, I drank my soda water. I feel virtuous for drinking soda water. Megaleech, another fun fact: the Olympic Games used to hand out medals for arts and humanities. At the time, 151 medals were awarded for architecture, literature, painting, music, and sculpture. Sorry, now I'm getting these visuals of competitive arts and humanities, like the 100 meters architecture. Also, they should have boxing chess in the Olympics. You're familiar with boxing chess? It's like you play 3 minutes of chess, and then you have to box for 3 minutes, and then 3 minutes. So the idea is, it's almost like a Dungeons and Dragons thing. Do you put all your points into intelligence or strength? Because if the two people matched, if one of them is extremely good at chess and the other one's dumb but strong, the good chess player might even beat them in the first 3 minutes. But if the strong, dumb one survives the chess round, then they get in the boxing round, they might knock out the smart person in the boxing round. I thought boxing chess was fucking hilarious, actually. Should be more of it. So, Laura's fun fact. The robot dog Daggett on the original Battlestar Galactica wasn't a little person in a costume, it was a chimp. Chimps are fucking dangerous. Hollywood, so we put chimps in movies, and they're actually fucking dangerous. And Lee, you're going to live near the beach? That's pretty cool. Kirsten, you have ennui. You need to retire from humaning. This is completely understandable. I'm really glad you've made it through isolating and your symptoms are mostly gone. And I look forward to you being a fully motivated human in the coming week or so. Fun fact, you're gay. Well, okay. I guess that's that then. All right, I might try making this key lime pie. So I need coconut rum, triple sec, and lime juice. All right. I have a coconut rum over here somewhere. I mean, I have my high octane one here as well. Maybe I could do one shot of the high octane and one shot. Because it says 2 shots. Ugh. Right, where is my coconut rum? It's here somewhere. Ugh. Where is it? I'm sure there was some of it left. Wait, is that it? That is it. All right. You go there. You go there. God, I might even get some more of this. They also had a cherry rum that was fucking awesome. Right, that and that. Triple sec. I'm going to get my new triple sec, which is down here. All right. Cream and liquor 43. Okay, I'm also going to get my foaming agent, which is here, I think. Wonderful. Where's the liquor 43? Just there. All right. All right, getting the bits and bobs. I think I've still got cream liqueur in here, which has probably not gone off and probably won't kill me if I... There you go. Disaronno Velvet Liqueur. It's probably fine. Probably won't kill me. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Okay, so I need my shaker again. Okay. Deeper and down. Okay. Oh, let's do it. Okay, gonna do one shot of this, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this. Satisfying pop. A little bit of that. Triple second lime juice. I'm not putting that much lime juice in. This is a very limey triple sec, actually. Put that in. I will put a bit of lime juice in. Right. There's my lime juice. Need to get some more limes. I think we've got to this time of the year where limes are stupid expensive too. So I might do super juice. I probably need to get some malic acid for. Okay. And a bit more ice. Some of this ice stuck together. That's enough ice. All right. All right. Okay. 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 Now, again, in case anyone's wearing headphones, I'll switch the microphone off for a sec. All right. Okay, so this is the lime part of my pie. All right. Now, while that's nice and cold, actually tip this ice out. That was weird how that missed the glass. Now we do Liquor 43. Liquor 43. Not sure if I'm going to overfill this coupe, but I'm a wild and crazy individual and I can't be tamed. So, a bit of this cream liqueur. That looks okay. And some Wonder. I haven't used Wonder Foam in ages, actually. Make it foamy. Wonder Foam. 3 to 4 drops. Okay. I was going to do dashes. It's just drops. No, Safa Liquor 43 does not have caffeine in it. I think you're thinking of the coffee that talked about 43 beans in every cup. I think it's the number 43 that's fooled you. Okay, now shake this one without ice. Okay, it's super fucking weird. I feel like it's solidified. That is fucking weird. It's just, that's, what the fuck? What the fuck? That is so fucking weird. You know, I'm going to put a bit of milk in here. That is fucking weird. It just fucking solidified in here. Now try this again. That was extremely weird. Just got to really shake this to try, because I want it to float. Don't know if this is going to work. I could get a spoon. Disperse it a bit. Let's see if this works. I don't know if it'll work. It's not working. It's a fucking disaster. That was ridiculous. That was ridiculous. You know what? I'm just going to shake the whole fucking thing. I'm going to shake the whole fucking thing. Laura, I'll do Angry Bunch soon for anyone who's up for it. Oh God, it's separated. Right, bit of ice, just a bit. Ugh. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. All right. Let's do this. At least, okay, now it looks attractive. Supposed to get it to float, and I fucking failed on that front. That was a nice bit of alliteration. I fucking failed on that front. Oh, okay. Sorry. I've been charging things over here. It's green. It's charged. Now the other one. It's red. It's not charged. All right. All right. My second pie cocktail for Pie Day. Key lime pie. At least it looks really creamy now. Not great. Aha! Aha! Not the worst thing I've ever had, but not great. My apple pie cocktail was good. That's disappointing. Ugh. I believe that's a scientific truth, Dr. Abigail. Drink 100 coffees in a day, you get superhuman speed and enlightenment. Rating scale, honestly, oh shit. Mega Leech, okay, this is, it's like a 4 out of 10. It's actually, I'm yay close to tipping it down the sink. It's actively bad. Oofed. Okay. So, yeah, I may actually tip that out. It's fucking awful. It is fucking awful. On the one level, I don't want to because it's got expensive ingredients in it. Oh, God, that's kind of evil. Offer it to someone else. I can't do it to Mrs. Angry because it's got too much citrus in it and it'll give her heartburn. Yeah, no, Safa, this is literally the worst drink I have made in years. This fucking sucks. It is terrible. Yes, I thought that's what you were referring to, Dr. Abigail. The science documentary, Futurama, showed what happens if you drink 100 coffees in a day. Wait, did I fucking... Angry Bunch. It's like 10 o'clock, 2 hours in. Does anyone want to join? There's the link. That's the Angry Bunch link. For anyone wants to join. I'm actually stunned. I'm really surprised at how fucking bad this is. Fucking sucks. Like, could I do anything to fucking save it? I think it's just like, they were saying throwing good money after bad is like wanting to save a drink. Would I just be wasting even more ingredients? Yep, that whole thing was just a weird fucking experience, and it resulted in an awful fucking drink. More rum? I don't know. Maybe I should put more rum? Safa some sugar. Did I not put sugar in it? Actually, dude, you are not 100 miles. There's no one else here, Megaleech. I can't give it to Mrs. Angry because the citrus will give her heartburn. Actually, Safa's kind of on the money with try it with a bit of sugar, I think. Okay. That might work. You may be onto something, lad. All right, let's... The question is which sugar? I'm going to reshake it with some sugar and put a little bit more of the ice back in because I don't want to waste any more booze. Now, I've made a bunch of sugar syrups this week. Fruit one, rosewater one, and apple one. Don't try the apple one. I think the apple one's good. Make it a fizz, Megaleech, you think? Sorry, Dr. Abigail's waving at me. Appeared and say, hello.
Hi.
Oh, good to see you. All right, I'm just... Okay.
I don't know how long I'll be here because I'm really tired. I'm not even wearing my glasses. I just noticed.
That's
but I'm drinking creamy soda.
Nice, creamy soda. Put some of this sugar in there. Oh, God, Mimsy's knocking at the door, being obnoxious. All right, I'm going to walk and shake and let Mimsy in as I do that. So, do that.
Oh, no. I'm being left alone with the stream.
Look, just for a second.
Bender's head. That is Bender's head.
Oh, okay.
If you don't, I'll shine a light on it. Look, Bender's head.
Oh, yes. It's a bit more visible now.
I like that I can turn the light on my camera just by squeezing on my phone, just by squeezing the sides. Look, it's not even, my phone isn't even turned on.
That's a good
and I can
touch.
just like, yeah, I can squeeze the sides. I can set it to anything. I can like take pictures with it as well.
It's one of the things, so many funny things have happened with Apple products over the years that they just create a product that has a feature and some hacker's gone, yes, but what if?
Yeah.
And in fact, you know what we owe all of the things like with phones playing games where you tilt the phone and it doesn't. Apple developed a thing to protect hard drives on laptops. It was like a gyroscope that detected movement, and it detected sudden movement, like you drop the laptop.
It's an accelerometer.
Yeah, it was an accelerometer. It detected sudden movement and disengaged the hard drive, because if the hard drive was actually grinding away and it impacted, it would definitely fuck the hard drive. Whereas if it disengaged, it might not fuck it. And one hacker just went, oh, so the laptop knows when it's moving. And he worked out what controlled it. And he built a simple flight sim game in his laptop where he steered by doing this with his laptop. And Apple went, well, that's fucking wild. We didn't think of that. And that ended up becoming a core feature of iPhones. Now, the flash on an iPhone was originally just a flash. And again, some hacker just went, well, if I can code something to control the phone, I should be able to turn the flash into a torch. And they developed an app that did that. And Apple went, well, fuck me. That's amazing. And so now it's a default feature on the phones that the flash is a torch. And good night, Lee, if you haven't already. All right. Last ditch attempt to save this embarrassment of a drink following Safa's suggestion of putting some sugar in it. Yep, okay, it's tolerable. Now it kind of tastes like like a banana cream pie from a dodgy bakery that you got something from because you're hungry, and then you walk away eating it going, I don't think they wash their hands when they handle stuff.
At some point, you just have to realize that you're succumbing to the sunken cost fallacy and just tip the thing out.
Yep. I wasn't going to put more booze in it because that would be, but sugar, it's just sugar. No, Safi, you've saved it. It's a 6 now, as in I'm never making it again because it was a terrible failure. But it's palatable now.
I'm gonna eat this banana suggestively.
Oh my god! Okay, here's a joke I remember from school. 3 women sit down on a park bench. Each of them has a banana, and a nun and a sex worker and a housewife. And the nun, she eats the banana. She just breaks off a little bit at a time and nibbles it and breaks it a little bit. The sex worker peels the banana and just drops it down her throat in one go. The housewife peels the banana and eats it like this.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, for fuck's sake.
That's terrible, but it's also social commentary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Safa, bananas make good cocktails. No, I mean, I have banana liqueurs. And this, in fact, is a banana rum liqueur that I made myself. That I'm going to try and find a good cocktail for.
To anyone picturing me filleting this.
Yeah, chomp.
Yep.
God, yeah, I've seen a meme going around that's titled, how did Playboy manage to make a trans joke in the 80s that's not actually transphobic? And it's like lads with their friend who transitioned and had surgery, gender affirming surgery, and they're saying to the friend, like, what's the worst part? Was actually getting your dick cut off the worst part? And she says, no, that wasn't the worst part. He goes, no. And the guy goes, no, getting your balls cut off. That was the worst part, wasn't it? No, that wasn't the worst part. Oh, what was the worst part? Getting my pay cut. That was woke Playboy in the 80s. Just saying, like,
wow.
Okay, you're a woman.
Well,
you're gonna get paid less now.
It was probably accidentally woke.
But it was pretty funny, though, to actually take that angle on the joke. Like, yeah, you're a woman now, so you're going to get paid less. Also, a lot of Playboy jokes in the 70s and 80s were weird and impenetrable. Like, they were so obsessed with wordplay and whatnot, and you look at them and go, like, the fuck? What are you trying to... I don't even understand what that was. You're just obsessed with double and triple entendres, and it's just like...
It reminds me of the joke about the gender pay gap. That it doesn't actually exist. It's just about the choices people make. Like, men choose to take high-paying jobs like lawyer, an architect, an engineer, and women decide to take lower-paying jobs like female lawyer and female architect and female engineer.
Yes. Oh dear.
Yeah.
It's just
single female lawyer having lots of sex.
Yeah.
Gee, the Futurama references tonight.
I know, but again, particularly the original series of Futurama.
Mm.
Again, sorry, because I brought up Playboy jokes. And here, speaking of Playboy, is Laura. I don't know how that works. We're picturing you as a centerfold, Laura. I don't know. That's,
Okay.
Yeah. But the recurring joke in Playboy was our unabashed dictionary defines X as Y, and this is where they get obsessed with puns and whatnot. So I just looked that up, and Playboy has a Twitter. Big surprise. And it was our unabashed dictionary now includes the following variations on sexting. Flexting is sexy. These are not funny. Sexy texting at the gym. Brexting, sexy texting while separating from the European Union.
That's funny.
That was actually funny. Brexting was funny.
Perhaps hits a little too close to home for people in the UK.
No,
what was this one? BDSMS, sexy texting while wearing a latex hood. Also, your 4G went out. It's very weird.
One of the reasons I just need segue off to something for a second. So,
yes. Sensible, hopefully, not like what I'm saying.
So what happened was Safa asked a question. I think it was Safa. Someone asked a question. I'm pretty sure it was Safa. About what would happen if you drank 43 cups of coffee in a day. And though I can't answer that question, I can tell you what happened to, and I think I may have told this story before. Maybe Safa hasn't heard it. So I went off to America to one of those transgender cross-dressing gatherings I used to go to. And one of the people there, you know, in the sort of, you know, the old text chat in the dial-up days, you know, she said how she was a coffeeholic and, you know, that kind of thing. And so, you know, well, one of the other people, a British person, says, I drink more than her. I just don't make a big deal out of it. And I was unfortunate to tell this to someone who was competitive.
Oh, no.
So what happened was that Samantha Rebecca decided that she was going to outdo them both. And she drank 12 cups of coffee for breakfast. And then she didn't
That's
feel
a good
well.
way to have a heart attack.
Yeah. Didn't feel very well about an hour later. And have you got like a history of diabetes? Or, you know, and it's like, and the answer was no, I drank 12 cups of coffee for breakfast.
Yeah. So let's break it down for a sec. For one thing, caffeine, I mean, it increases your nerve conduction rate. I think that's how it makes you more awake, or something about nerve gates or something. But also, like, it causes heart palpitations, constipation. I think it might even be a diuretic.
It is a diuretic, yeah.
And thus dehydrates you. Let alone that she may have had sugar with it as well, but you know, that's kind of, I mean, you drink one bottle of Coke and that's about as much sugar as like 43 cups of coffee. I mean, I saw an American guy dump 5 teaspoons of sugar in a single mug of coffee once, so I can only imagine. That's beyond the saturation point of sugar.
Yeah,
like surely it wouldn't.
It solidifies.
It wouldn't dissolve. What's the point at that? Like after like 3 or 4, what's the point?
No. You're asking AZ to make sense, and that's where it all falls down.
So Lumi, it mentions drink coffee before sex. I would like to try that, but I don't drink coffee, so you need to come here and we'll try that.
Or Grasshopper's wife.
Oh yeah, we haven't heard from Grasshopper in a while. He's too busy
Yeah,
this
what's he
time
up
of
to?
night.
What's all
He
this
might
about?
he might be watching. Who knows? A team experiment.
By the way, I think I've got the answer to what would happen if you drank 41 cups of coffee in a day. You would go insane because you would have so much caffeine that you wouldn't be able to sleep for at least 6 days.
Well, you would
Apparently,
end up
if you don't
throwing
sleep-
up.
Yeah, but if you don't sleep for 6 days, you go insane. Or something like that.
Yeah, because of REM sleep and all that. So Salumi, what we'd have to do is we'd have to have at least a single blind experiment. So you would have to do a control, no coffee, and then again with coffee.
That's just
And-
you demanding to have sex
and
multiple times.
not tell me which one is which, and so and then we judge based on whatever criteria we make up beforehand.
Okay, I mean, now you see, now we've
A
established that-
number of orgasms or
now.
the length of time. Who knows?
Now with that one and you need the control, you need the active version. So which one is it? Who's going to be the control? Is it going to be
So the control will be just a drink of water, for example, or decaf.
No. The
or
question is, who is going to be the control? Is it going to be Salumi or is it going to be Grasshopper's wife?
no, but like we're testing the coffee, not the partner.
I'm going off the.
But like I hear what you're saying, and
You're
so
taking the joke far too seriously.
Yeah, like I take a lot of things way too seriously and literally.
But also, Salumi's really into the idea of the experiment now, so that's good.
I'm good at planning experiments.
Salumi, can you do me a favor? Can you look in the mirror and see if you're blushing?
Oh yeah.
Megaleech is eating a chopped chip bagel.
That's an interesting concept, a choc chip bagel. I
ate a banana.
Apple old fashioned Starwood's small batch aged in American Applejack barrels and then sweetened with my own apple syrup. And it's fucking awesome.
I opened up this.
The birthday Nova.
The birthday Nova. And
that's what it's for, to be opened.
Yes. It's very nice.
It is. It's
I want to try the whiskey that Nettie got me as well.
It's Monkey Shoulder, wasn't it?
Yes.
That's a nice blended Scotch. That's a really highly recommended blended Scotch, great in cocktails and whatnot.
Okay.
Just as a mixer.
I'll have to get a recommendation from you, but not now because I won't remember it. I'm like on the edge of like falling asleep.
We're doing
it. My messed up sleep schedule is in like I've been going to bed at like 6 at night and waking up at 4 a.m. It's like
that's not the worst sleep schedule I've ever heard. But,
yeah, but
it's a bit out of whack.
It's yeah.
Oh God, you should try mine.
And so I'm like so tired right now.
Yeah.
Mine has been get up, as in like get up in the morning type, territory, except for the morning is 11 o'clock at night.
Yes. Well, Dr. Abigail is brought to you by the powers of Red Bull.
By
And-
the powers of Red Bull.
It's a Red
Nice.
Bull and chocolate.
So Princess Princess Procrastination here has left everything to the last minute.
Yeah.
And so I have 2 locos that I've painted and are weathering. So I'm weathering now, which is the reason why you'll see me, concentrating and doing that.
Sure.
But so I have basically been eating, sleeping, and modelling for the last couple of days.
Yeah.
And it's going to last until tomorrow. So hopefully I'll be able to go to bed sometime late this afternoon, and then I will get up just in time. So I got to get this work done and photographed for the portfolio, because I do a portfolio of stuff that I do for other people. I take photos of it so I can reference. Oh, you want so and so doing right? Well, here's a picture of one I did earlier. So I've got tomorrow. I've got a model railway show. So I'm going to be up very early in the morning in order to go out. Well, I'm a kind of slow starter and then increase, my peak efficiency in the So I do much better later on in the day than I do in the morning. To use a normal sleeping pattern, which is not mine. I would do well. I would really struggle until about 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning. And then throughout the afternoon, I'm like 150%,
All right.
usage coming out of me.
Actually, I like this question, Dr. Abigail. What does Red Bull taste like? How would you describe it? I think it's quite harsh, actually.
I love the taste of Red Bull. It tastes like awesome.
Right.
It tastes like Gen X Extreme Sports. It tastes like it's a bit cherry in flavor if we want to get literal, but it also like I find it so dangerously easy to drink. And I just like the smell and the taste is just really I don't know how else to describe it. It's a very, very chemically taste.
It's very chemically, yeah.
Yeah, it's not a natural taste at all.
No,
and
doesn't exist
I
in
think
nature.
no. Yeah, and I think they've tried to add like a slight cherry taste to it, but it if I had to describe it, it tastes like Extreme Sports. It tastes like it's radical, dude.
Yeah.
I like. I don't know.
I like the Monster energy drinks. This is the zero sugar Monster drinks. I really like them. I think they're like here. All the other energy drinks are kind of here. I will drink a Red Bull, but my top tier is the sugar-free Monster ones. There's about 6 sugar-free Monster drinks at the moment, and they're all good. And they're all very saccharine-y fake sugar flavor. But I'm very up with it.
Well, at least it's not made from the butt of a giant worm.
What?
Oh, good. That's the
That's another Futurama joke. It's another Slurm.
Ah.
That's when he's looking at it, going, "That's disgusting,"
and he keeps drinking it.
You keep drinking
it. The whole episode was a Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah, and the mascot
reference
McGee, which was
a
reference to a beer mascot in the US. And it was just like, it's just so fucking weird.
I think the thing that I've something that tasted completely different than I expected is the gum that's in the men's room.
Sorry, I think I missed the payoff. What was that? What tasted different?
The gum, you get like this machine that you get.
Oh,
gum
right, okay.
in the men's room. It tastes like rubber.
It's better
Yeah,
than the cotton candy from the ladies' room. Yeah. I don't know which is worse, actually.
Actually,
you
it's an interesting question.
You get legit weird shit in vending machines in men's rooms by highways in Australia. Things and like, put $2 in here, we'll give you a thing of pheromones guaranteed to drive the ladies wild. And it's just like,
what?
No, that's a real thing. That's a real thing they sell. And it's I again, because again, about 15 years ago, I was doing a weekend away with Mrs. Angry, and when we stopped one moment, went to the toilet, and this truck stopped, and they were selling this pheromone thing, and I was going, oh my God, this is the worst thing ever. And so I made a video about it, and the place where we were staying, we actually had a jacuzzi. So there's this video of me in a jacuzzi, and it's just like, so I'm here and jacuzzi, it's all going to happen. And I held the thing out because I got this from a truck stop. Yeah, it's going to go wild. And I like wipe it on me. And I got Mrs. Angry off camera to go, can you smell cat urine? And so I'm getting the soap going, oh no.
I'd rather have the truck stop sandwich with the worms in it.
Yeah.
Another Futurama references. Like I haven't watched Futurama in years.
They're apparently going to revive it again. The fourth revival.
Yep.
I have to admit, I like all the last episodes. The last episodes in each revival have been quite good. Talking about like the love story between Fry and Leela. And they've done it a couple different ways. And I think they've been very good. I think those final episodes have been very good. Well, yes, urinal cakes. Why the fuck do we call them cakes? But we do. We call the things that are disinfectant in urinals in men's rooms, we call them urinal cake. Or actually, when I was a kid, we called them trough lollies.
Yeah.
Some sort of really extreme disinfectant to try and overpower the awful smell of male urine. And it's a losing battle. It's very much a losing battle.
The whole concept is just bizarre. Like, go to the stall. Like, it's so gross. Peeing on a wall, getting splashback on your leg, and just. Have I told you?
And stop peeing on the floor.
My urinal story.
Please do. Please tell us a urinal story.
It was about 2 months before I had surgery.
Right.
The surgery.
Yeah.
I was at a lesbian bar, and I was there with my partner, and we were waiting in line at the bathroom, and it was a long ass line because it was just chicks, and I was like, I think we just lost. Oh no,
I'm here.
Kind of, yeah. So you just like froze for a second, but
no. I just concentrated a lot.
Yeah. So we're waiting in line, long ass line, because it's full of women, and I realize the line for the men's room is so short because there's like only 2 stalls and a big ass urinal. One of those wall deals, and like. I could use that, and it would be the last time I would ever use that. And my partner, last time
to use it.
My partner just took me by the shoulders and said, "Yes, do it. You must." And I'm like, "Fine, I'll do it." And I kind of look the same. I didn't look like a dude or anything, so I just strolled right in there and started using this big ass urinal, and there were two dudes in there using it, the wall,
Yeah.
and one of them just like noped, just like, I can't deal with this, and the other one just looked at me and just said, I am so confused right now, and I just heard just a gaggle of giggles behind me from all these women behind me waiting
Oh
to
my
use the
god, that's
stalls.
awesome. That
And
is
it
really
was
good.
just, yeah, that was the last time I used a urinal. Now
Again,
I physically can't. So
well, that's quitter talk. You could if you tried.
I mean, I guess.
Squatting is what we're talking about.
Or just like limber up and get a leg up and just like,
Yeah, how good are you with yoga? That's what we're saying. It's like,
it's been a while, but I
Hmm.
dated a yoga instructor for a while.
yeah, good.
She
Okay.
taught me a
What-
few
That's
things.
that's
Wait.
one of the only things I'm going to miss: being able to write my name in the snow.
Yeah,
my
yeah.
favorite.
You'll need a stick.
Yeah. My favorite urinal story is raves in the 90s when you're at a thing for like 12 hours and you're a dude and it regularly happens. You end up having the same rhythm as someone else. It's like, that's for you're drinking, you go, now I need to piss. And it's like, and then you go in the, and suddenly you go, was that same guy at the urinal last time I was in here? And at the third time you go in, and this time you make eye contact, and we go, we're piss buddies for the night, aren't we?
Oh God.
We've just got the rhythm happening, and over 12 hours, you see each other 6 or 7 times because, I don't know, your just pattern of drinking and urinating synchronizes. And it's just like, well, I guess we're piss buddies for the night. And it's...
Well, so Lumi makes a good point now. You can get these products, these little cardboard disposable things called a she pee or a she wee, or and it's just a glorified funnel, but
it's a funnel,
like you can get non-disposable ones, but then you have to like put it back in your bag and wash them.
I've seen them marketed for camping. It's like, camping when there's not a thing, you just want to stand there and do it against a tree, and it's like, and hi Glee, by the way. Whose grammar are we criticizing, Glee?
Laura writing their name in the snow.
Right. Okay.
There was a weird thing that they had in Manchester a number of years ago now, where they had outdoor urinals.
A weird thing in Manchester?
Yeah, that's unheard of. Yeah.
So they had this really, really bizarre. It's like, how is this a thing territory? So they had some open air urinals.
Oh my God!
In the city centre. So it was like a circle thing with 4 pointing towards you and just like a bit of a wall. I mean, it was,
and the wall wasn't even shoulder height. It was
it was like, it's about.
No, I saw pictures of that. Yes.
Yeah, but not only that. There were women ones as well, which were a funnel. It was just it just looked like a funnel.
Ridiculous.
And it's like, okay, wouldn't want to pull my, I wouldn't even want to go in an open, in the middle of the city centre,
too many people get stage fright.
Yeah. Another funny public toilet I've seen, I forget where it was, somewhere in Europe, but it was this sort of glass cubicle, and it was one-way mirrors. So like from the outside, it was all mirrored, and but when you're on the inside, it looked like glass, so you could see everyone, and it was very hard to not feel like everyone could see you. They couldn't, but because you could see everyone, it was very hard to not feel like someone. It was an art installation. It wasn't literally done as a thing, but it was these things that were put in the city center somewhere in Europe, where it's like, are you feeling brave? Can you like publicly go to the toilet where it feels like everyone can see you, even though they actually can't? artists.
I can.
Someone
just
needs to ship them all off to camps. That's all
I
I'm
just
saying.
have this amusing thought of like people are walking by and they can't see, but
Yeah.
you do have like the inability to go because you think someone's watching. With
Yeah,
the
yeah, absolutely.
performance anxiety, even though they can't see you.
Stage fright. Yep.
But no, that was the thing. It was
Mm.
like, can you overcome the feeling that everyone can see you, even though objectively you can go, they can't see me, but I can see them, so it feels like they can see me.
Okay, I need to ask a question now. Okay.
Yeah.
So, have you had performance anxiety going to the, standing at a urinal and you're bursting, you need to go, and it's like, well, why is it not going? Every other time I go, it goes fine when I'm at this level of needing to pee. But right now, at this moment, I can't do it. And a part of me is thinking, well, no one's going to be looking, but they might be listening. As to, did this person start making the splashing noise yet?
Yeah. I remember seeing a comedian doing a routine about that performance anxiety. He's going, there's like a tipping point, and if you ever get to the point where it's going, I can't pee in front of these guys, it's weird, and then you're fucked, because then you're standing there with your dick out, but you're not peeing, and then you start thinking, oh, they all think I'm gay, and now I can't. Now I really can't, and in the objective sense, no one is paying attention to you, but inside your paranoid brain, all these things are happening, and everyone's judging you, and so it gets harder and harder to pee because you think people are judging you because you're standing there but not peeing, and so you're even less likely to pee no matter how much you're busting, and it becomes a whole feedback cycle.
So here's a fun little internet thing for you.
Yeah.
So I was watching an episode of CSI New York, and in one of them, one of the women characters, she ends up, apparently there was an incident where someone was using something called lookingatyou.com or whatever it was called, and basically all it is, it's a website, and you can just search, and anybody who's on, you can just chat with. You don't know who they are, you'll just be chatting with them. And it's like, and she ended up talking to some soldier or something, and there was someone got killed, because CSI, right? But at the end of it, she ends up sort of using this website and talking to some soldier. And I thought, wow, that sounds really cool. I'm going to get a webcam so I can do that. And then what I discovered is that 90% of the people on there were guys with their todger out.
Oh, yeah. Chat roulette.
Yep.
Chat roulette.
Yeah.
Yes, that's exactly it. And it's like, okay.
My favorite was these guys. I think they were Russians. A couple of young guys. They were going on chat roulette. It was their joke, where the camera was only to here, and the motion of their body made it look like they were masturbating. But then they'd sort of move, and it's like they were drying dishes. And the video they posted of people reacting to them going, ew, and then they'd move and they were like rubbing a dish, and the people would laugh a lot. And the real payoff one, because these were quite young guys doing this, and one of the people, it was like an older guy, like late middle-aged guy, who appeared to be jerking off when they came on, and they were like, well, this is funny, we're pretending to jerk off, and he is actually jerking off. And then they held up, they were wiping the plate. And then this old guy, he went up and he was doing the same joke. He actually, and it was
Chatterbait.
so funny.
You know what? I just had the
Megaleech
most
in with Chatterbait.
I just
Oh,
had the
yes. Oh, my
wonderful
God.
idea. So earlier on, before you opened it up for others to join, you had the microphone off while you did the shaking. And I just have this wonderful idea of basically taking that bit of video, getting rid of the bit in the middle so it looks like what you're holding is huge, your own.
Oh, yeah,
member,
absolutely.
and basically just drawing a dick pic type, that sort of, wang type picture. And just over the top, and just have it, making you this sort of silent jiggling noise. because I thought that would be funny.
People skilled with video editing, get onto it.
I can do this. It's just like, it's just stupid. You know, this I could do in about 30 minutes or so.
Yeah.
But I've got painting to do, so
Yeah.
I won't.
So Lumi saying that public toilet I was talking about, imagine someone with a one-way mirror toilets discovered they were an exhibitionist. You know for a fact there were people whacking off in these one-way mirror public toilets. And there were people really getting into it, whacking off while everyone walked around them.
There'd be people shagging in them.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's, exhibitionists. They're fun individuals. Yes, and because I'm not, despite the fact all the shit I do on the internet and YouTube and whatnot, I'm not a sexual exhibitionist. And I have had various
it's something that just popped into my head, you know, thinking again about having sex in places. You know, there's the Mile High Club, as it's called. I wonder if there's the Mile Under Club, as in submarine, you know, people in like
having sex in mines. Yeah.
You know,
the one for necrophiliacs, the 6 Feet Under Club.
Do you know something?
Thanks. I'm here all evening.
Yeah.
I'm not really a filthy-minded kind of person. Then I started hanging out with you people, and you know,
you people. Oh, I resemble that.
People, are we at that stage? The you people stage.
Oh dear me.
You Australians.
Oh, is that what the you people was?
There is a reason why they sent you there.
Debaucherous perverts.
It's the reason why you got sent there in the first place.
Mm.
Oh, Heidi, see what you're saying? That's the joke we said when I was at high school. You know, what's long and hard and full of semen? It's a submarine.
I wasn't really thinking about submariners because they can't really go a mile under. But you do get like the dumbbell, you know, the things that they used to look at the Titanic and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, that can go 3 miles, you know.
Yeah, but we use kilometers, not miles. Like, what the hell is a mile? Like
1,000 marching feet, of course.
Is it?
Yes. Apparently, that's where a mile comes from.
I wouldn't know. I use the metric system.
Yeah, I'm British. We can't make up our mind. Yeah. I mean, holy fuck! You get exclamation. The whole Brexit bullshit. There are people saying we should go to, you know, Imperial again.
Oh, of course there are.
You know, because one of the things that was, you know, lied about. Oh, and by the way, one of Boris Johnson's first jobs was going to you know, see what the EU were doing and proposing, and he would just lie about stuff that they were saying to do. So yeah, he started out his career as a liar, finished his like that as well. Amazing. But so one of the an example of the kind of like things that got lied about was during so when we were still a part of Europe, so we're talking about 10 years ago, more than 10 years ago probably now. The government, so they basically, the EU said that you have to display, you know, stuff in metric, as you know, in metric. So we, for example, we sold fabric by the yard, 3 feet. But suddenly it's like, okay, we got to put signage on. So it, you know, it's, you know, what is it a meter? So it was like £1 a yard. It was now £1.10 a meter, because you're only talking 7 centimeters extra is a meter compared to a yard. So, you know, so as a result, you know, you go and buy some some potatoes or something, and like, yeah, they would sell them by the pound, but you had to have them advertised metric as well. And unfortunately, the lying politicians and Brexiteer, who became Brexiteers later, basically said the EU are banning using pounds and ounces and yards and so on, and they weren't. They were just saying you have to display them as metric, and you can have them with imperial as well if you want. As long as you have metric on there, you can sell it in whatever weight you like, or whatever length you like, or whatever.
The idea of reintroducing pre-metric measurements is stupid beyond fucking words. But then again, the Brexit crowd are stupid beyond fucking words.
Yeah,
it's weird. Sorry, do anyone remember when I was talking about looking up Playboy jokes? Because I have a web page open, and most of them are terrible and not in a good way. But there's a couple here that are terrible in a way that I find appealing. As in this joke, a doctor had sex with one of his patients and felt guilty the next day. No matter how hard he tried to forget about it, his shame and sense of betrayal were overwhelming. Every once in a while, he'd hear a reassuring voice in his head saying, "Don't worry about it. You're not the first medical practitioner to have sex with a patient." But then he'd hear another voice, one that jolted him back to reality. "You're a sick bastard," it whispered, "and you're also a terrible veterinarian."
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard that joke a long time ago.
Oh, no, these are very old jokes. These are like from the 70s. And it's like, after years of wondering why he didn't look like his siblings, a man finally got up the nerve to ask his mother if he was adopted. "Yes, you're adopted," the mother said, and she started to cry. "But it didn't work out. They brought you back."
Sort of speaking about veterinarian thing. Do you remember the song Billy Joel, "We Didn't Start the Fire"?
Yes.
I was really confused by how you would have homeless vets, because we call them vets, So you think, take your dog to see the vet, to see the doctor, And so in America, of course, vet is veterans. So it was just
Lump fungus. That's a pretty good punchline for the sex with a patient thing if you're actually a coroner. After you had sex, put them back in the freezer. Yeah. No. Oh my God, that was Jimmy Savile. That was one of the things that he supposedly did in the hospitals that he was raising funds for. Oh my God, nightmare.
Oh,
sorry, Jimmy Savile, terrible.
I was unaware of that.
That's one that's not public, but Irvine Welsh did it in a short story in the 90s that was obviously about Jimmy Savile. It was a very widespread thing. Jimmy Savile was interfering with bodies in the morgues in hospitals that he was raising funds for. And the hospital administrators turned a blind eye because he raised so much money for them. The English establishment.
Capitalism.
I
don't want to live on this planet anymore. Another Futurama reference. Sorry.
Dr. Farnsworth.
I get excited. I get excited easily.
Yeah, I'm probably worse with Simpsons references than Futurama references. Like Safa in the chat a while ago said, "Should the Simpsons be retired?" Not even joking. The Simpsons should have been retired 20 years ago. They're in the mid-30th season now. It should have retired before it hit the teens, really. And you tell that just by memes. All the Simpsons memes that still get used, none of them are after about season 10. You don't get memes from
Yeah.
season 25. You just don't. Yes,
Because
Bum
no
Fungus.
one's watching it. No one's watching it anymore.
No, they are. It is one of the most
How?
It is one of the most expensive advertising shows in the US and has been for. That's why it's still going, because
Who's
the network
watching it though?
And yes, Bum Fungus, that is one of my favorite Simpsons memes, and that's from one of the early seasons. Stop! It's already dead.
Already, yeah.
I've got a fun one. So do you remember how you were really surprised when I pointed out that Andrew Robinson, to play Garak, it was Scorpio?
Yeah.
Um,
yes.
I
Yes.
did not know that.
Oh, there
In
you
the
go.
Dirty Harry movie, yes.
It was actually amazing.
Oh, yeah. No, in the Dirty Harry movie. I thought you meant Scorpio in The Simpsons.
No.
Okay, didn't know.
Okay.
Scorpio in the
Yes,
Dirty
in
Harry
the Dirty Harry movie. Of course he was.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, so I found another one that I was surprised by, just scrolling through. So do you remember Star Trek: The Slow Motion Picture?
Oh yes.
So I'm not going to. I'm screen sharing, but I'm not going to play the video at all. There's no audio or anything, just the picture. Okay, so the Klingon commander there is the guy who played Sarek.
Played who?
Oh,
Sarek, Spock's dad.
So he played.
Sarek.
So he played a Vulcan, a Romulan, and a Klingon.
And a Klingon, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, why not?
Cool.
There you go. Just a weird little.
I just love every now and then in, particularly Deep Space Nine. Like, Christ, Iggy Pop showed up in Deep Space Nine at one point, and George from fucking Seinfeld turned up. I don't remember. If that was
but that was in Voyager. That was
Voyager.
The episode called Think Tank, where he just name drops humble brags saying that he cured the phage, which was like a entire season-long arc, like a couple of seasons before his appearance.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently he's a real dick in real life. So, yeah. Mick Fleetwood also appeared.
Yes, Mick Fleetwood was in Star Trek.
The big
but
fish.
you couldn't recognize him because he was in a big fish costume.
Yeah,
and you couldn't see his face.
God, yeah, the number of famous people who just somehow got into contact with someone who was in Star Trek production, and they went, "Can I be in it?" And the people went, "Yeah," and they went, "Fuck yeah!"
Well,
I'm doing it.
Whoopi Goldberg got an entire
Well, she became an ongoing character,
supporting character. Yeah.
I learned one. So I found a really cool website called Cool Classics. Sorry, not a website, YouTube channel called Cool Classics, and it's looking at old I Love Jeannie and Bewitched and a whole bunch.
I Love Lucy.
Yeah, I Love Lucy. Looking at all the different actors and actresses that were in those shows, and how sort of they overlap into each other and things. And but one of the ones was really quite emotional because it was about Kit, something Kit. What's her name?
Knight Rider.
From Knight Rider.
No. God, no. Sorry, my head went off to something else, which was why I said God, no. It was Catwoman in the original,
Eartha Kitt.
Eartha Kitt, yes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So the start of her life was shit.
Yeah.
So she was she was like half Cherokee and half black. And that meant that because she was half caste or whatever you want to call it, mixed race. Apparently in America, if you're white, that's fine. If you're black, that's fine. If you're somewhere in the middle, even if someone's black, they'll treat you like garbage, or they did back in the 50s, kind of time and earlier. And so, so basically, I forgot what I can't remember his parents. I think parents may have died earlier, something like that. She lived with extended family or something. But basically, because she was mixed race, she was badly treated by her family. And then, but it wasn't being picked on and it wasn't being hit. It was also further abuse, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And and ultimately she practically died from it. And
Damn.
so fortunately her cousin or aunt or something who lived in New York and was well to do heard about it and basically demanded and ultimately gave some money to put her on a train and and actually treated her decently. I mean, to the point that this little girl, who was probably about 7 or 8, I think it was at the time, she went into, she's like, I need to go for a pee-pee or whatever it was, need to go to potty or something. And so it's like, oh, it's in there. And she guides her into a small room and shuts the door. And she thought she was being punished by being shut in this room, as she had been done before. And this lady basically, after not hearing for several minutes, goes like, "Are you okay?" And it dawned on her that she didn't know what a toilet was and how to use it. She thought she'd been put in a cupboard as punishment, and it was just go to a toilet. And she didn't know what the basin was or how it worked or anything, And it's like, whoa, that's just crazy. It's and so she had a really, really good life later on, but it started awful. And then later on, because she made it famous, sort of family tried getting in contact, or tried sort of, milking the rich cow. And she basically said, so there was a scene, "How dare you come here," kind of thing, says Eartha Kitt. And it was noisy enough at the time that the press got a hold of it and thought that she was like an asshole and, just was shitty to her family, that kind of stuff. And the reality is that, she's now in a position to not accept the bullshit that had gone the past and said, "I don't want anything to do with you after what you did to me when I was a child." And so she was like run through the ringer and she couldn't get work and stuff, So it was really quite an awful story, but also really captivating as well.
That's a huge number of people in America who are not Anglo kind of have that story. And at least, Eartha came out on top, which was nice. But the people of mixed race, you know what you have? I was just looking up while you were talking because I was remembering the old Cher song, Half Breed, where it's sung from the point of a person who's half white and half Native American. And so I just looked up what is actually Cher's ethnicity. And her dad was Armenian and her mum was Scots-Irish. So although you do get that weird thing in Americans where everyone claims to be, 1/16th Cherokee or whatever. But
do you know, I always find that really weird when I listen to Americans and they sort of, they need to go back like 4th generations on this, that, and the other. And it's like, and I don't know about what it's like in Australia, but we just don't care that much.
Yeah.
It really, I was born in Coventry or, Bristol or Manchester or, whatever. But it's like, maybe it's one of those Americans haven't got any history, so they need to sort of go back as far as they can to make it seem like they're valid, almost.
Yeah. Sorry, we were talking about the Welsh earlier. I remember working with someone who's Welsh, and we were talking about family trees. She's saying how her family had researched the family tree, and they'd gone back 400 years, and they were like pure Welsh. They hadn't found anyone who wasn't Welsh, and they weren't game to keep looking because they were worried they'd find someone English in their lineage. It was just, yep, that is a very Welsh attitude right there.
That reminds me of when Conan O'Brien did a genetic test, and he found out that he was literally 100% Irish.
And I remember that. Conan O'Brien is the whitest person in America.
And like, not even people from Ireland are as Irish as he is.
Yeah.
And like, his family have been in America for a while, for generations. And he said that it was because they're from this small town that was only populated by Irish people, and they just inbred.
Yeah, I thought that was
and
hilarious.
They were so insular. Yeah, it's hilarious that he's just like literally 100% Irish.
Yeah. Oh, he was
nothing else.
He was from Fairhaven. Star Trek Voyager joke.
No.
Cool.
Oh yes, Salumi, the whole blood quantum thing is sick and fucking wrong. So what's that, Salumi? In Australian First Nation communities, they're saying it doesn't matter how much milk you put in coffee, it's still coffee. Well, it's always I think I'm finding, and this is, you know, from the slave days in the US, one drop of, you know, African blood was enough to say you should be enslaved. And so you get racists who have this amazing double standard of you are not enough of that ethnic group to claim to be that ethnic group, but you are enough of that ethnic group for me to hate you with my deep-seated racism. And it is very weird. Bumfunkers, that's an excellent way to summarize it. Conan O'Brien's family tree is a closed loop.
It's a Mobius strip.
It is, but I've seen the same thing with him saying that. It was like, Conan O'Brien, officially the whitest person in the United States. But again, okay, but that's a fun thing. There's a book, I think it's called The Invention of Whiteness. Prior to the 20th century, there was definitely not a universally held view of what it was to be white, because the Irish were definitely not regarded as white. And probably the last people to get regarded as white were Mediterranean people, Italians and whatnot, because until the mid-20th century, in fact, the second half of the 20th century in the US, they were absolutely not regarded as white. It's the whole whiteness thing is an incredibly strange social and political construct. And in terms of human history, it's quite recent. It only started to be formulated in the 19th century and only got solidified in the 20th century.
You know, there's a similar thing. And you know when you get the people, no, I don't accept it because that goes against what I want to be true type territory. So one of the things in Christian evangelicalism in the US is the idea of Bible literalism. And the whole Bible literalism thing came out because, we can't accept that Darwin's correct, that we're common ancestors with apes. And so it's like, no, denial, no. And the nope has been going on for so long that it's become a Protestant evangelical thing. But the reality of it is the whole thing started off with some lady called Ellen G. White, a Seventh-day Adventist, and they don't like them. They're not proper Christians, of course, as far as the evangelical right-wingers are concerned. And so basically what happened was there was this girl who fell over and bumped her head, and she'd have visions. And because she was religious, she'd have religious visions, of course. And so, these, And so one of them is the Bible should be taken literally. And that all started by not proper Christians. And yet I'm a real Christian. I am kind of people have tagged on to this thing. And like I say, if you tell them it came from Ellen G. White, like, no, it doesn't. They will reject it at face value. They just won't have it.
Ridiculous. So I do want to throw in, yes, Sloomi's thrown in unrelated. Adelaide's having an art light show with images from the Sistine Chapel. That does sound good. I love tangents. Also, I'm going to have a wee break. 3 hours in, I think
I'm also going to do the same.
All right, we're going to make Laura keep everyone entertained for 5 minutes. Okay, I'm coming back.
But you're not allowed to talk about trains.
Talk about
I'll be back in a sec.
What can I talk about? Let's have a think. I can talk about trans stuff. Apparently, it seems so. We're having an election in the UK right now, an election where pretty much nobody can vote in it, except for I think it was like 120,000 Conservative members, and it's going to be who's going to be our next Prime Minister. They've gone through a number of debates, and now it's going to be the summer while they proselytize who they're going to, who they want, who they are to the Conservative members. Just a you and me. If I was a Conservative, I could vote in this. Just need to be a member. And who's going to be the Prime Minister? And they're basically slagging each other off. And there has been the entertainment one of Rishi Sunak, who was the Chancellor of the Exchequer, so does all the money, and it's like judge me on my my performance, not my words, or my words, not my performance, and it's like your performance hasn't exactly been very good, kind of pretty crappy, really. So that's been quite amusing. Will Boris's antics be over? Probably not. I mean, he finished off his goodbye speech in Parliament with "Hasta la vista, baby," which suggests he's going to be back.
Sorry, Laura. Was that literally true? Actually said?
Yes, that was his last thing. "Hasta la vista." Hasta la vista. I think he may have even said "baby"
until tomorrow.
So yeah, that was Boris's final thing to say as Prime Minister in the House of Commons.
Oh my God.
Prime Minister's questions.
Oh.
Look at the size of this cat.
You got a kitty.
I have a fucking tiger.
Oh, that's the Maine Coon cat.
Yes.
Oh, a very big
like
cat. Very big cat.
Yes. He's pretty big. I just
There
thought
are
I'd
experts.
introduce him.
Experts believe that Liz Truss could be sentient in a matter of years.
What could be sentient?
Liz Truss. She's one of the people going to replace Boris. It's going to be her. It's going to be her, or it's going to be Rishi Sunak. Those are the two options. So yeah, she did a really good performance of suggesting she has emotions recently. That was quite impressive.
Performative emotions are a skill that a lot of Tories struggle to master.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With varying degrees of success.
Yeah. But Mother Nature went and put in a massive performance this week. Smashes her own British record. That's impressive. As in, it was really fucking hot.
Oh, yeah, okay.
The hottest ever. 42 degrees, I think it was.
42. Wow.
I know. We're such lightweights, but we're just not used to like.
No,
know-
that's not being a lightweight. That's fucked. That's
Okay.
that's if it was 42 here, we'd be complaining too.
Oh,
no,
okay.
Yeah,
that-
okay.
In
yeah,
that case,
that's fucked.
in that case,
Yeah.
I don't feel quite so bad.
Yeah. No.
No,
Australians who were mocking England for the 40, literally 40
No.
in the UK would literally be like getting 50 Celsius in Melbourne or Sydney.
Yeah.
We get
At least our
45.
houses are designed for heat.
Now, by the way, this is what I did. I went out on the hottest day ever.
Oof.
No, what's this, Laura?
You're
What do we
brave.
got?
I needed a couple of things.
Oh wow. Nice.
Yeah.
At least you have an ozone layer there. And like so Lumi touches on a good point. Bella, sorry, my cat is meowing at me. Northern Hemisphere, the sun, like, and I've had people from like the US, multiple people from the US tell me like the equivalent temperature in the US doesn't the hot sun in Australia just feels hotter. It's just this harsh Australian southern hemisphere sun that you just don't get in the northern hemisphere, and I think it has something to do with the axial tilt and the progression of there's a word for it which escapes me now, but every few thousand years it swaps between the northern and the southern hemisphere, which gets the harsher summers. And so the hole in the ozone layer, I joke about it, but it's actually doing pretty well. Like it's almost repaired itself.
It kind of amazes me that you sort of said, like, at least you got an ozone layer, because, in my head, I mean, I've got a picture to share, and basically this suggests we were lucky to get it back, because this is a photo from Essex in the 80s. I'm screen sharing.
Waiting on you, Angry.
Oh, sorry.
Earth to Angry.
So the hair, the
oh
amount,
my god,
the amount of
Jesus.
hairspray.
The hair is pretty good.
Look at the fucking bronzer on display as well.
Yeah.
Like, my god, the perms, hairspray,
oh my god.
Yeah, and the one above her as well. The bronzer, oh my goodness me.
And not only that, notice how much metal fabric there is as well.
So and yes, metal fabric in the dresses, yes.
But it's, like I say, it's like, considering the population of the Northern Hemisphere and 80s hair, I mean, think about it. Just pop movies, pop music videos alone probably accounted to a quarter of it.
Hair metal bands, you have a lot to answer for, and not just the ozone layer. So there's something about the harsh Australian sun that makes it, like, in the equivalent temperature, just that much harsher. And it's something to do with UV levels and or something. But 40 degrees is still 40 fucking degrees.
Yeah.
And it's still hot. And you have every right to complain. I've given up on that.
Did you hear the big news about Prince Andrew?
No.
He burst.
Because he can't sweat.
Yeah, exactly. Apparently he's got some weird thing that he can't sweat, which is the reason why he couldn't possibly have been a sweaty guy with, underage women with, what's his name?
What?
Jeffrey Epstein.
Epstein.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay.
I knew about the Jeffrey Epstein thing, but I didn't know about What's this
he made the
sweating
excuse
thing?
that, so one of the girls that he supposedly abused, and I'm only using that allegedly so I don't get sued type thing.
Allegedly,
So basically, one of them said that he was like sweaty and stinky or something like that. And he said, this is categorically untrue because I have this medical condition and I can't sweat. And of course, since we had 42 degrees, he had to be fanned all day long, and then the battery ran out. And the next thing you know, he just burst because he couldn't sweat.
Yeah. No,
I'm sorry, that's a really, really bad joke.
Yeah, but
he's
like
a fucking lunatic. He's a fucking lunatic because when one of the women who had been trafficked by Jeffrey Epstein when she was underage and was trafficked to Prince Andrew, she was just calling him a sweaty creep as a general insult. And when Prince Andrew did this interview for British TV, he decided to take it literally and said, well, she described me as a sweaty creep. And then he brought up the Falklands War and said, because of an injury in the Falklands War, I can't sweat. And it was just like, fuck you, dude. Fuck you.
You can smell the bullshit, and you didn't even need smell-o-vision to do it.
Yeah. No, he is just super fucked. And the whole royal family all agree that even by our standards, and we're a bunch of fucked mutants, you are super fucked, and we're going to cut you off because, Jesus Christ, dude, you have clearly been hanging out with these guys trafficking underage girls, and fuck you, Jesus Christ.
The thing about it is, I have heard it said multiple times from either Canada or Australia, and a few other places, that when the Queen dies, that they might go full Republic. They like the Queen, but when she's gone, that's it. There's no real point anymore.
Yeah,
because no one likes Charlie, basically.
The rumor for years has been that there's already a deal behind closed doors that Chuckles knows he's absolutely unpopular, and when little Betty Schickelgruber pops her clogs, Chuckles will actually abdicate and pass it to Wills, because Wills is more popular than he by orders of magnitude.
Not a hard, difficult thing to achieve, to be honest.
No, that's a very low bar. Being more popular than Chuckles, a very low bar. But who knows? Who knows? The idea of a foreign head of state who is appointed by God is just fucking vile.
As an atheist, I cannot stand the national anthem.
God save the Queen.
Can't stand ours because God save the Queen. Well, I don't believe in a God, so it doesn't apply to me.
But that's literally it. The British royal family, but royal families everywhere, the conceit behind it is they are literally anointed by God as better than everyone else, which to any rational person is absolutely repulsive. It's just unconscionable. Fuck royalty, fuck oligarchies, fuck the ruling class.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I am definitely on the fence about the monarchy. Now, I'm not a royal watcher. I'm not interested in them. I don't have any massive support for them. However, it doesn't cost very much to have them. And having them means that, like Americans will travel thousands of miles to come here just so they can, look through the gates of,
gates of Buckingham Palace.
Exactly. Just to sort of say, I mean, that's it. They're good for business, basically. They bring stuff in trade here and there, and it doesn't cost us that much to keep them. So I'm prepared to keep them for that use only. But in terms of swearing loyalty or fealty, no, screw it. Not interested in that at all.
They're an anachronism.
Well,
and should be treated as such.
I'm just in favor of pushing all of the aristocracy in every country into a fucking wood chipper and have them
Oh,
finally
look,
be.
that just like march him into one of those industrial fucking metal grinding machine,
Yeah.
metal shredding machines that you see in
Yeah, in
waste
those wacky
disposal.
online videos, and
Oh,
just
I
because
love
they
those videos.
finally
I
be
love
of
that shit.
use as fertilizer,
Yeah, compost the rich.
yeah.
I'm going to
Yep.
sort of take the middle ground, sort of bit, the grey area idea of like, yeah, we'll give you a reasonable, living until you die, and that's it. But we're going to take all the land off you. All this massive amounts of land. Well, we're going to privatize that and make that, ours, the people's. And like I say, we'll give you a reasonable living standard until you die, and then that's it.
No, I'm all for
once
actually
they're all
taking.
gone.
No, I'm all
Nah,
for taking it
I-
away from them while they're alive and punishing them for the centuries of repression, colonization, murder, rape, and
Yeah.
exploitation that they represent. The blood of literal millions is on their hands, and they need to fucking pay.
Yep.
And it's not just the royal family; it's all of the aristocracy. It's all the to the manor born Tories. It's everyone who goes to those fucking private schools, and just all of them, line them up in front of an industrial fucking wood chipper and be done with them once and for all.
I reckon like chain them up on the road and just slowly approach on a steamroller, like
Or
just like I want to see like just the slow inevitability of their doom creep
I wanna
across
know,
their face as
did
their
this-
insides get squeezed out of them like a tube of toothpaste.
Okay, I just need to know: did this idea?
Or maybe
come
that's
from-
just me.
Did you just watch A Fish Called Wanda?
yeah. Oh no, it's Ken. He's coming to kill me.
Yeah.
I haven't watched that since.
It's a good
When was
movie.
it made?
Like 30 years
That was
ago.
that was with John Cleese, wasn't it?
Yeah, John Cleese is in it.
Can't remember what year it was.
Yeah.
About 86, 87, maybe 88. I don't think it was as late.
That
as
was when I watched it. Yeah.
I must admit, I have taken a couple of one-liner type jokes. So I didn't even realize I'd done it until I watched it again.
1988. So it's like a
88,
25-year-old film.
Yeah. So one of the things is she says, I've worn dresses with higher IQs. And I have, I sort of said, I have a joke that's similar to that, which is I've worn shoes with a higher IQ, and that's when they were still in the field grazing. That's one of my favorite insults that I created. Yeah, the Otto character, I did really like him. He was awful, but kind of
Kevin
funny
Kline,
at the
he
same
was
time.
great. Yeah.
He didn't like being called stupid.
Yeah,
It's
don't
like,
call me stupid. Yeah.
yeah. Morons. Sorry. What was it? She said something about like he was like a monkey or something, and he goes, "Monkeys don't read philosophy." And she goes, "Yes, they do. They just don't understand it."
I just want to point out, I also made a typical Gen X mistake of seeing that was a 1988 film and saying that was 25 years ago. That was 35 years ago.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's a typical Gen X thing when someone says 20 years ago. You mean 1980? No, no, you are much older than that, and it's like Jesus. So yeah, time is inexorable in its onward march, and that was yet
1,000
another
milliseconds per second.
Yeah,
Can't escape it unless you're traveling close to the speed of light.
which, you know, I want to try to. Okay, so Tom Georgeson is still alive. Okay. Sorry, I was just looking up some of the cast of it, and they've obviously aged a bit in 35 years. But it's like occasionally, because like I've been on YouTube for like 16 years, and someone who was watching me when they were a teenager and they're now 30, and they go, "You look older," and it's going, "Motherfucker, it's 16 years. Of course, I fucking look older." Jesus Christ. Also, you got
No
suckered by the
shit.
fact I was coloring my hair for most of that. And in COVID, I just got sick of pretending, and I haven't colored my hair for 2 years. So this is like the real me, but you were completely fooled by artificial hair color for 15 years. So more fool you, basically. But yeah. And again, they don't even realize. They say, "Yeah, I watched you when I was a teenager. You look old." Well, how old are you now? 30. Yeah, well, you're not a fucking teenager, are you? Teenagers think you're an old person, okay? Teenagers think you're fucking ancient. That's why I love seeing like TikToks and whatnot of Zoomers ripping on millennials. I find that
Yeah.
hilarious because when you get past 25, that's when someone thinks you're super fucking old and you can't deal with it. When you're
Yeah.
still in your late 20s to mid 30s, you can't cope with the idea that someone thinks you're old. But teenagers think you're fucking ancient. And so seeing like TikToks of Zoomers ripping on millennials, I find that fucking hilarious. It's so
Well,
funny.
even like Will's 17. He's a Zoomer, and he
Ooh.
was saying how some of the younger kids at his school were calling him old, and
Yeah.
how like OG Ben 10 is now Ben 10 like classic or something,
Because that's
and he
bordering
feels
out.
old.
Okay. Now I'm going to look
And
that up because OG Ben 10 was a very long time ago.
yeah, I know, right? But he grew up with it, and I'm
Yeah.
like, welcome to my world, motherfucker. That's just
Okay.
hello.
2005. That's 17
Yeah.
years ago.
That
That is
is
fucking old.
17 years ago.
That is fucking old. Yeah, because when I was a kid, that was the equivalent of someone putting on a show from 1960 and saying this isn't old.
Yeah,
It was like, yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's old. That is
that's
fucking
old. Yeah.
You don't even realize it because I remember in the 80s laughing at people who were into music from the 60s, like, fuck you. But that was only 20 years ago. Now I'm listening to music from 40 years ago, going, no, this is still good. And I was ripping on people who were listening to 20-year-old music.
I remember a couple of weeks ago. You remember I told you that was that trends thing, Sparkle. And
Yeah.
they had like they had a stage and people, singing on it and stuff like that, as well as, other stuff. And, someone was playing, there was like a DJ playing basically. And, it was like, and here's a classic, a pop classic. And it was Britney Spears. And it's like, that's not a pop classic.
Yeah. Oh no. What I hate is being in the supermarket and hearing music that was cutting edge when I was young, because it's safe golden oldie music in the supermarket now. And it's like, and I'm just like pushing a trolley around going, fuck you, supermarket. I'm not grooving like, yeah, Midnight Oil, all right. I'm going like, oh no, music that was cutting edge when I was young is now super conservative golden oldie stuff. God damn it.
Must admit, do like some Midnight Oil.
Oh, yeah, no, I was just, again, I could go into the weirdness of Peter Garrett because he was an evangelical Christian who was also promoting kind of...
Is he the singer?
He's the singer. The weird, tall, bald guy
yeah,
was actually an evangelical Christian but who also promoted sort of radical left environmental politics. It was a joke back in the day in the 80s that Peter Garrett would have a lot less fans if more people knew more about Peter Garrett, because he was in a very conservative Christian church. Abigail.
There is currently on at Jeff's Shed
Yeah.
a craft and quilt fair. Now, I
Ooh,
don't care about quilting, but the whole crafting thing
good craft.
is my jam. And I was
Yeah.
just bemoaning today how there are no like good yarn supplies in this area. Like, I
Wait a
have to
minute,
go
you
into
live in
the city.
Australia. How can there not be? Have they got shops? Is there a shortage of sheep there?
Well, I use acrylics, but
Oh,
no,
okay.
we do have a lot of sheep, and wool
We have a
is
lot of
definitely yeah,
Oh,
wool's
gosh.
pretty affordable here.
Yeah.
But anyway, so there's a craft and quilt fair on tomorrow. Well, it's on this weekend at Jeff's Shed in the city, and it's only like $15. So I'm going to go to that tomorrow,
Oh,
which means I need to get a good sleep. So I'm going to actually head off and go to bed.
that's fair. It's creeping up on midnight. I have
So-
no idea how much longer.
Yeah. So
I'm now tossing up between having one more drink and maybe
are
not
you
having
tossing?
Oh, not yet, but that's the other thing I'll do when I finish the stream.
So, yeah, I guess I'm going by myself because
Okay,
Will
that's-
won't
I'm not
want to
going
go.
to public
That's
things
3
anymore.
minutes.
You don't want to go. You don't want to go to like a giant exhibition center with lots and lots of people.
I
I
don't.
assume no.
Because even like Mrs. Angry and I have decided date night is date night at home from now on. So we've already got tomorrow night's date night at home planned with what we're serving.
enough.
It's just like, we're just going to give it, I don't know, a month or two to see just how fucking bad the current COVID wave gets, and
Yeah.
avoid large groups of people as much as possible. Even though, yeah, 2
Fair
weeks
enough.
ago we went away and went to venues that had lots of people, but I know
I'm leveling up. I'm going to bed. So good night. Live long and prosper.
See you
And
another
I'll see you Sunday night, I guess.
Have a good
Sunday
day.
would be the plan, yes.
Have a nice
Cool.
tomorrow.
Good night.
Night night. Oh,
So I've got two things. So the first
yes.
one
What
is,
have you got,
well,
Laura?
after the Fish Called Wanda thing, I sort of like muted myself and looked up a video, and it's
Yes.
the one calling Otto stupid, and she's like, "I've worn dress with what was it? Something like sheep that could outwit you was one of the lines, but it's let me clarify some things that are, Aristotle was not Belgian. The central theme of Buddhism isn't every man for himself. And the London Underground is not a political movement.
Yes. And again, Kevin Kline, such a good actor that he could play Otto like that. Salumi also heading off. That makes sense. In all seriousness, yeah.
Was it Kevin Kline who was Dave?
Yes.
Where he's
Yes,
president.
that was
Love that movie.
Yeah.
And there's also the one where he's gay as well, but doesn't.
Oh God, what was that one called?
I've forgotten.
Because that was an excellent movie.
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called.
Kevin Kline generally, he's very good. Almost everything he's in is good.
Yeah. Here's another little fun thing for you. So you remember I said I was watching this TV show, sort of like, this guy, and he's got really fun voice as well. He's like, he starts with like, "Hi there," kind of thing, and every now and again it'll just sort of give this little chuckle as he's talking, because it's like just one of those wonderful little things that he thinks is really cool. And then, but one of the things that he was mentioning, the guy who played Lurch in the Addams Family,
Yeah.
and how he So he started off in radio,
Yeah.
and he was really successful. You see him in like just a handful of things, but he was really successful. He was in like Bonanza and all sorts of things. But he did loads of voiceover stuff. So like commercials and just the background, I'm trying to remember if I remember this correct. Do you remember the start of the Incredible Hulk?
Yeah.
And you got the voiceover. That's the guy.
Okay.
At the introduction, and then but he was also in the Addams Family. He wasn't just Lurch, and originally he had no words. But not only was he Lurch, he was also Thing. The Hand was Lurch.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
I don't know.
He was.
I think no.
He was, with the exception of times where he needed to interact with Thing, at which point they had used someone else. But he was.
No, okay. I'm going to look this up because my memory is the Hand Thing in the Addams Family movie.
Oh,
sorry.
no.
Do you mean? Oh, sorry. You
Original
meant the TV show?
Yes.
Okay, you may be right because it was different in. Okay, I was thinking the movie. Sorry, no.
He may have been dead by the time the movie came along. I might be wrong.
Yeah, no, because in the movie, Thing, the Hand was done by a magician, someone whose regular job was doing close range magic. So they basically had very dexterous hands.
Makes sense. Yeah.
So,
but no,
yeah,
I just honestly
TV show. Yeah, TV show. It was just the Hand in the box. Yeah.
Yeah. But they did the lady who was Uhura. They've
Nichelle
done
Nichols.
so many. Yeah, Nichelle Nichols. Yeah. And that wasn't her original name. She changed to Nichelle later on. The famous scene where she kisses Kirk, the first interracial kiss. Apparently, what happened was that they did it the first time, and then apparently they literally had the feds or the CIA or whoever it was, So there were the executives, and there was the producer and two audio guys and two. And one guy and a camera and a producer and the director or whatever it was. And nobody else was there except for two guys that stood at the back in black suits with their arms crossed. And apparently they were the government. Because they, and they weren't allowed to kiss, but on the first one they kind of did. And it's like, no, cut, need to do it again. And so what happened was William Shatner, he basically screwed it up multiple times, and they had to do it. And this is the last chance we've got. And then so he did it again, so that the only one that they had was the first one. So there you go.
Yeah,
but really, really interesting. Like I say, it's called Cool Classics. It's really, really enjoyable to watch. They've got a whole bunch of them. Sometimes they're 20 minutes long. Sometimes they're 6.5 minutes long or something. But like I say, so many of these old TV shows, comedies, drama shows, etc., and one of the things that was really sad about it is that in the 60s, you had loads of these comedy and drama shows. But what happened was during the 70s, it's almost a bit like we were talking about with music, that the millennials kind of, sort of screw over the Zoomers type territory, where anybody who did any sitcom type stuff in the 60s, basically no one wanted to hire them all the way through the 70s. And it wasn't until the 80s they started being able to find regular work again. Because it was like, yeah, we know who they are, we know what they do, but that's not what we're doing anymore, so therefore we don't want you. And And so, like I say, effectively, you had loads of redundant, people from the 60s who took part in these comedy shows, couldn't find work,
Yeah.
for the best part of a decade and more. So, it's kind of sad, but they're really nice stories as well. It's honestly definitely worth watching. Hi, Nate.
Well, honestly, I don't feel sure anything. Sorry, I don't know if it's just other people saying they were tired. Now I'm feeling like waves of fatigue crashing over me too.
Okay, I've got an idea. This might help you.
Yeah. Oh my God, you're evil. That's. Oh my God, that was evil. I love it.
No, 333. I'm only half evil. Your T-shirt, of course.
I was about to say I've got that on a T-shirt.
Yes.
My God, that one, but the one that really got people. I forget even where I got the T-shirt, but it was like a line drawing of a sort of typical devil thing, it just said, "God's busy, can I help?"
Yeah.
The number of psychotically angry comments I got from weirdo fucking Christians when I wore that, both the 333 I'm only half evil and the devil God's busy, can I help? I would get these psychotically angry comments on videos, and I was like, well, you don't know how funny you are, do you? And
yeah.
The idea that you think I'm going to take you seriously when you are just a grade A fucking weirdo. And it's just, it's a whole thing.
I have had people say awful things to me because I'm an atheist, as if like I haven't got any morals or anything,
Yeah.
I've had similar thing, that like somehow I'm a child groomer because I'm trans.
Yeah.
Or I'm sort of somehow sexually I'm trying to think of the word. Like where people have sex a lot, what do you call it?
Promiscuous.
Yeah, that I'm sexually promiscuous, and it's like never had sex, still a virgin, not ashamed of it either, by the way.
Yeah, and nor should you be ashamed of it. But
yeah, and it's like,
no, these people are nuts.
Yeah, just like what, I've explained to you before. It kind of screwed up a street preacher who once said that I was, I was committing a sexual sin, and I said, "How can I be committing a sexual sin when I'm literally not having sex? I'm asexual, never had sex, not interested in having sex. How could I be sexually, committing a sexual sin when I'm literally not having sex?"
Yeah.
And I watched his eyes buffer for a couple of seconds, where it's like, shit, I've never heard that one before.
Yeah.
At which point he just raised his Bible and said, "We're all sinners to God."
Yeah.
And I laughed, and I said to everybody that was watching, because there was like 30 people around us, because it was really quite amusing when I have these discussions, with the sort of street preachers. And as I said a few, last week or whatever it was, the week before, I ended up sort of chatting to a street preacher, and he ended up, sort of like, okay, there are these contradictions. No, they're not. Yes, there are. Here's me proving it. Well, that's on the internet. It's the Bible. It's the Bible. I'm literally reading the Bible. And, and so he just like, and the thing about it is, I'm an atheist, and I can be quite aggressive with my atheism and basically, take someone's Bible and shove it up their ass. And the provocation for that is them being arseholes, you're all sinners, you need to do what my God says, or else you're going to hell. Well, if you've got that attitude, I'm like a pit bull terrier. Once I grab hold of that bone, I'm not letting go. It's like you're gonna have to remove my teeth to be able to get that to And so, whereas, when he just decided he didn't want to talk to me anymore before because he needed to protect his belief more than the reality of the situation, at which point he just pretended I didn't exist and just talked louder and louder through his little microphone, and just didn't want to talk to me at all. Whereas 10 minutes before he was, it just showed me he was just doing his la 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 la. I don't want to hear what you got to say anymore. You're wrong. I don't want to accept this. I ended up walking down the street and there's another street preacher, but he was like happy and jolly and look at, I love Jesus. Jesus loves me. This is what he's doing for me. It makes me so happy. And that I can get behind, Oh, it's working for you. Brilliant.
Yeah.
I'm not an anti-theist. I don't hate people, for believing.
Yeah.
And I mean, you take Nettie in Nobody.
Yeah.
I disagree with them on the religion thing, but I'm not going to push it, because all we're going to do is disagree with each other. And I care too much about them to do that to them.
Yeah.
So I'm not obnoxious enough to do it. But when the street preachers are out there being obnoxious to everybody else, I kind of enjoy the idea of showing them up.
Yeah.
Because what happens is, and my best example is actually the guy who said I was committing a sexual sin. Because what happened was, he was saying other stuff, and I had a girl next to me because someone else was like, I'd talk for 5 minutes and someone else would talk for a couple of minutes, then I'd go on again, and it was like we were taking parts, contrasting this guy. And while he was saying something, there was a girl next to me, and she said, you should call the police now because this is hate crime territory. And I said, no, don't. Think about what's going on right now. 10 minutes ago, he was talking, just shouting, and no one was paying any attention. They were just getting on with their shopping and things like that, thinking he was harmless. And now they can see that he's a hate preacher and that what he's actually preaching is not positivity, it's just negativity. He's not bringing anyone towards his belief. He's, pushing them away. Yeah. All I'm doing is helping push them away.
Yeah.
From that kind of horrible and just horrible, it's almost evil kind of thing, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. It's like the difference between you get the people who say, because of my religious beliefs, I can't do the following. And I'm like, that's cool. If that's how you want to live your life, that's up to you. But when they say, because of my religious beliefs, you can't do this, it's like, okay, you need to go fuck yourself because you don't get to.
And the thing is, that's exactly what's going on in America, isn't it?
Exactly.
Because of my Christian belief, you can't have an abortion anymore.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Anywho, I'm going to go to bed. It's creeping up on midnight, and yes, I am fading. So
I want to say one quick thing.
Yeah,
that is, hey Nettie, do you want to chat on Skype in a couple of on Discord in a couple of minutes? Since this lightweight here,
yes, this lightweight's crashing. You all can hang out on Discord.
I mean, I've got hours left in me. It's like
I theoretically could go for hours, but then my entire Saturday would be fucked. So I'm going to.
I am making the joke that the time.
I know, because it's the day for you. Yeah. No, I got it. But also, I potentially could go for hours, but then I'd fuck up my whole Saturday. So I'm thinking I'm going to retire now. So it looks like Nettie's up for a chat.
But you're so young.
See you all another time. Sunday night if you're up for streams, but I'm going to bed. So bye for now.